All right. So, have you ever heard of the idea of a paradox?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I've found one myself. First of all, everybody, welcome back to Sober Rage Radio. This is episode 370.
Sure.
So I've discovered another paradox. I've been aware of it. I've just never actually thought about it in those terms. So two things in my life are possible, but they are just not possible simultaneously. Okay. Laura cleaning the house and Laura in a good mood. They both can exist independently.
Yes.
But they cannot exist simultaneously.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, right?
So I think what it is ultimately that, like, with kids, Joseph, when you clean the house, you start to feel unappreciated because you come across, you're like, these motherfuckers don't give a shit. Yep. You really don't give a shit. I got you. Yep.
They're not the age where you make them clean their own shit?
No, they clean their own shit, but their shit gets everywhere, Joe, is the thing about that. But so anyway, I noticed that the reckoning was coming because the house was getting out of control. So I like to be here as like a buffer, and for their
Bruce Buffer, let's get ready to rumble.
For their sake.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, Saturday I took Leia to dance. She's doing dance now, which is a whole nother thing. But like, when I come back, we're cleaning until my Zoom meeting, which was at 4. I was like, we're cleaning until 3:30. So we cleaned, and at the end of the cleaning, I looked around and the house was in pretty good shape. So I thought they had a fighting chance because I knew I went to work on Sunday. I knew that she was going to have their ass Sunday, So, but then I went into Leia's room and it was clean at first glance. But I noticed the cracks in the foundation and then underneath the bed and behind the dresser and all. And I was like, and I told her, I was like, she's going to see this. Like, you're not going to, if I were you, I would work on this tonight because she's going to see it.
Right.
So she definitely saw it. And but before she did that morning, I checked back in
to make sure.
Yeah, I clicked the light. She sleeps with the light on. So I went in, I clicked the light off. But before I did, I looked around her room and I was like, oh, she didn't do shit. Cool. So I left, but before I left, I was like, Hail Mary, Mother, God bless the room, bless the fruit of the room, Jesus. I did one of those, and then went on my way. And Laura had her ass all day. I mean, I don't think they're allowed to have sugar until November. I don't have but it's fucked up. No, they're all.
You warned them.
Yeah, I tried. But I think it's true that they cannot. Those two things cannot coexist.
What does she do when she clean?
What does she do?
Yeah, does she? Because I have found myself in a situation earlier in my life when I would live with other people. But I realized because I start to go into a downward spiral in my own brain, like this motherfucker, and then I was like, and then this, and then fucking this, and I'm just pissed. So like I started listening to like podcasts or something that distracts me, not just music, because music can put you in the mood too. So like, I had to listen to somebody talking.
So something else. So I like when we did it Saturday, I have a pop music like playlist that it covers everything like that's kind of like 90s, early 2000s pop. And I put that on because it puts all of them in a good mood. And I like the music as well. It wouldn't be my go-to, but I know it puts her in a good mood. So it was another buffer. But it's unsuccessful. But on top of that, our fridge took a shit.
Yeah.
So there was that. There was that on top of that too. So like we're dealing with all that. Phil, I got bad news for you. All your sodas are fucking thrown all over the place because we had to use a little fridge upstairs to kind of for the family. So your root beers had to be sacrificed.
She always brings more anyway.
Yeah. And I think that's all I have for an intro. We have a fair amount of questions and shit this week. So
still, wow. We answered a bunch recently.
Joe, you got your coffee way first. Chris, how was your week?
Wow. Thank you. Chris has to no longer rely on his own mind. Strangely enough, I went back through the chat and you proposed 2 times, and the one that I agreed on is the one I totally blew the gimmick on. So here we are. Watched a whole bunch of shit, so we'll start with things I know no one else here watched. So Atlanta is back for season 4.
Oh yes,
that is a gem of a show.
That's a Childish Gambino.
Donald Glover is the creative and actor lead for that.
Yeah,
not the Housewives of Atlanta.
No, that's different. Quite different. And each you can't even describe this show.
I bet you both have their fair share of drama, though, Christopher. I bet you that.
They do, but it's quite different. It's quite different. It's all fabricated, but at least one of them it is.
No, I mean it's kind of like critically acclaimed.
It is because it's really fucking weird.
Yeah. He's weird.
Yeah, the first 2 seasons, maybe
in all the right ways, you know. But
maybe first 3 seasons was literally the story of his paper boy, the rapper, and he's Earn is Childish Gambino's character, and he's his manager, and he's got this ex-girlfriend who's Zazie Beetz, who played Domino in the Deadpool movie. It's probably how you know her. She's been in a lot
you mentioned her before,
and like season 4, they were in Japan, but it ended up being like a lot of it was these individual stories that had nothing to do with the story. It would like tie in a little bit at the end. But I think there's 3 episodes out so far for season 5. They said it's the last season, so I'm enjoying that.
Yeah,
it's always I've been a fan of his musically for a long time, and then enjoyed him on Community. I guess is where his acting break came through.
He's talented.
He's a talented dude. Yeah, and he's a stand-up guy, Joe. That's what I hear.
And Star Wars.
Yeah,
he's everywhere.
Right.
He
is Lando, and he's technically he's the Prowler in the MCU technically.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I watched. I don't know if about critically acclaimed for this next one.
Sure.
But the new season dropped on the service. Joe, you might have heard of it. It's called Netflix.
Oh, yeah. That new thing.
I canceled that.
I heard.
Yeah.
It's new.
I heard some interesting things about Netflix. I heard they're doing some streaming like mobile games and stuff now too. It's like completely free. And they're doing basically TikTok now. They're chopping stuff up into little digestible
I mean, like
pieces.
If their trailers are any indication, then it's not going to be good.
Yeah. I mean, they're
not good at chopping up stuff in a little bit.
Everybody's trying to move to that TikTok format.
Well, I saw something. You guys know who Gary Vee is? Mm-mm. He's like this entrepreneur guy. He's always seems to be on the cusp of whatever is like money making popular, like the trading cards thing was, he was on top of that, NFTs, and he's really a content creator, and he said the path to success is you create an hour worth of content and then you divide that up on all your different platforms, and you can have 2 weeks worth of content because you take that hour and chop it into 30-second sound bites and drop that on TikTok and all this. Anyways, I believe it's season 5 of Cobra Kai.
Yes.
I watched
that's 5 already. Wow.
Let me tell you, it's a fun romp.
Gary loves that show. Angry Gary.
Yeah, really?
He loves that shit.
It is ridiculous. I mean, it is.
But he's been when those memes started going around about how like Daniel's really the villain of that story.
Yeah.
He was talking that shit way before a meme was even a thing.
I remember him saying that.
Like
he has a very different perspective on media than I think the rest of us do.
Many things.
I don't even know where to start. I mean, I'll tell you, like, probably the scene that ties the whole series in together is Johnny. His son and him take a road trip to Mexico to get this other kid that had ran away, and they run out of money, and they win money by the son winning a pepper eating contest in Mexico. But turns out he didn't actually eat the last pepper with sleight of hand, but then they squeeze the juice from the pepper in somebody's eyes later during a fight.
Oh, nice.
That pretty much sums it up.
So it brings back to the cheating and the fighting.
That's what they call foreshadowing, Jim.
Yeah. But they just, they keep on bringing people back and recycling things, and there's a prison break at the end of this one, and there's just
sounds fucking wild.
And they're pumping these out really quick.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like every 6 months there's a new season.
I'm sure they practically write themselves.
Oh, they probably do.
I mean, when you don't have like a format, right? When you're not like really, it sounds like it can go anywhere. It's just like a wild fantasy, like.
But
they're current time, but like fantasy, like shit that won't fucking happen.
They're pulling stuff back. Like the villain, this one was Silver, who was the guy with the ponytail. I think in the third one that had like, and then like the second one, the guy he fought in Okinawa. Is like in the show and
really
like helping him. Yeah, they're digging back deep, pulling.
But people
in.
are coming though. People are doing it.
That second Karate Kid That shit's got some heart in it.
Man, I haven't seen that in
the first one did?
many.
The first one does, but in a different way. That second one, you learn about like Miyagi's backstory and all that shit, and then that dude feels like he has to fight Daniel for his honor because he didn't go out in that storm to save that kid. He was too afraid.
Yep.
Like there's some like, I mean, it's Karate Kid, right? Sure. I get it. I'm not trying to make it fucking Pride and Prejudice, but like, there is some real soul in that movie. Whereas like the first movie is probably a better overall movie, like, story arcs and characters go here, but the second one has some real heart in it,
Yeah. So it was fun. I powered through that while I was working on some diorama projects. I guess everything else we've watched together.
I'm down.
So we'll start with are you up to date on Lord of the Rings? The new episode came out Thursday.
Yes, I am.
I am as well.
I'm loving it.
It's gotten so much better.
Dude, it's a slow burn.
Yeah.
But I had a little episphany about this.
I dated her in high school.
Yeah. I've tipped her. But like,
Probably.
But isn't that what Lord of the Rings is after all?
Slow burn.
Slow burn.
Yeah.
A lot of walking.
Yeah. And I was like, man, maybe this is right for this.
Have you read the books?
Fuck no! I told you I got to page 3.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it
was too slow to burn. I didn't care who Aragorn's 35th grandpa was, but like, yeah, I'm loving it. Mm-hmm. I'm loving it. It's not House of Dragons, and I almost think that I wouldn't have, because I've never hated this show. But I think I would have ranked it higher had I not been watching Dragons at the same time.
Because they're the same genre,
right? They're the same genre.
They're very different, but in the same genre still.
And Dragons is a lot more like out for your throat. Where
you can't help but compare them.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that I got to thinking about, I'm like, I'm literally watching 4 episodic shows, like nerd shows right now.
Yeah.
So the Game of Thrones, Andor, which we'll get to in the She-Hulk fiasco. Continues.
Yeah. So one thing I said about, I made a little note to myself about Power of the Rings. I said it's a slow burn that is paying off. The meat and potatoes are there. It just depends on how you cook it, and I stand by that. I know that some of the ringworms are very critical about some of the decisions that they've made, and they're probably justly so. It kind of goes back to that, like, that whole conversation that we had about like Nick Fury, right? Like, Nick Fury is not the Nick Fury that I know, but if my kids ever see a reboot of the Marvel Universe and he looks like the Nick Fury I know, they're going to think they got it 100% wrong.
David Hasselhoff.
Exactly. David Hasselhoff.
So, exactly. So, like, I think that, like, while the ringworms may not be into it 100%, as like a fan of the films, like I am digging it. I think the acting is great. The sets are fucking amazing. Yeah. The costumes are amazing. The budget's incredible. I think everybody's acting their ass off. It's funny, the 3 storylines, what you had mentioned last week, thinking about it, the storyline that I am least interested in by far is the one with the elf and the lady keeping track of the tower. Like they're guarding the watchtower or whatever, and I'm enjoying that one as well. Like there's not one that I'm not enjoying, but that's my least favorite of the 3. And it's like I don't find either one of them necessarily compelling. Those 2 characters, like the guy who actually betrayed them, or not betrayed them, but revolted against them, and then took that group of guys, and then he ended up getting done in by the orcs. I found him to be an interesting character, and then he had a little interesting ending too.
He did.
I'll end up, and I'm pretty sure I'll end up watching this one because Chris is interested in watching this one.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, we watch Lord of the Rings once a year, probably.
Yeah, I can't, that's all I can say. But to be fair, like I don't hate The Hobbit like people hate The Hobbit. Like
I don't hate it, but
I think it's too stretched
it's overrated.
out. I think it's too. I don't think it's overrated because it's fucking not well liked.
Isn't it not well liked? Well, maybe it depends on who you talk to.
Or if you do think it's overrated, you really think it's dog shit.
I mean, because like it's put on the same. I mean, it's the same level as Lord of the Rings. It's all one. It's kind of one. It's all done by the same person, right?
Yeah,
and it's all one story. It's all the same actors too.
Yeah,
a lot of the same actors. It's supposed to be the same people, but like it's not as good as that. So I don't want to put them on the same level because even though they are.
I agree. They're not equal, but I enjoy The Hobbit. Like
there was a lot of unnecessary. Like at 2 movies at most. Is all
at most, I agree with that. But I don't.
I'm surprised there's no fan cut of like 1 3-hour cut of the movie. I bet you I would like it a lot more.
But I don't hate it for what it's worth. Like, and then there's some stuff that like I was listening to something about it. There's some stuff that the book doesn't actually cover about how some of the arcs end. Like, it's just kind of like it becomes part of the lore that you don't know that the movies explore. That like I think as a casual fan, I kind of enjoyed. I agree with you that it's not as good as Lord of the Rings, but I don't think many things are as good as Lord of the Rings. True. But I think it's better than what the sort of general masses. I think it's underrated, I guess. Because I think
to the general masses,
yes, because people are like, man, that fucking dumbass Hobbit movie. I'm like, man, it's not so bad.
It's just definitely not as good as the original trilogy.
And yeah, no, for sure. And here's another thing, like just talking about like with the ringworms and what they want from it. Like, I think that one of the problems of the Hobbit movies is all those fucking dwarves.
Too many dwarves?
It's too many dwarves. You can't keep track of them. They're
more a good amount of them.
By the second one, I think they only follow like 4 of them.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like
there's like 6 or 7 of them are like noticeably like. I don't know. I can tell them apart, and then it just becomes too many of them.
Dopey,
yes, exactly.
It was 7. You're right.
Yeah,
but like
those 7.
If you think about like Lord of the Rings, right? Like there's the elf, the dwarf, the man. You know what I mean? Like there's like they're easily recognized, and I think that like once again to a casual. It's like I had a hard time keeping track of like who was who in those fucking movies.
40 of them motherfuckers.
Yeah. But anyway, continue.
Yeah.
But I'm loving it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it too. It seems like it might be turning a corner now that the ships have sailed, so to speak.
Who do you think is Sauron? Or Sauron?
Sauron.
That's so difficult to
sour.
say.
So
Sauron.
The
Sauron.
easy guess is the human that's with the Harfoots.
Yes, I think that's what a lot of people are leaning towards, the meteor man, if you will.
Yeah, because, the I'm going to call him the fallen elf. That's the king of the orcs or whatever.
Yeah.
He, the one guy that you said had a tragic end, he said, are you not Sauron? And he basically killed him over saying that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Was it this show you said that they're going to do some time skipping, or is it the?
That's why he said it was House of Dragons.
House of Dragons. I couldn't remember.
I thought this was 2.
No, not well. They may, but not like.
Is not going to be.
I don't know. I can't say. I haven't
1,500 years. That's what you said, right?
I didn't. I apologize for any number I've ever said in my entire podcasting.
That's fair. I digested the newest episode of SheHulk when she goes
still going.
She goes to a wedding. Joe,
it's not over.
How many Titania shows up?
I'll read you my notes on this. She-Hulk seems like a YouTube spoof series. At least I know I'm not supposed to take the Kardashians seriously. The drunk punch thrown where she misses and falls down. Like, she's at this wedding. She throws a punch. She's drunk and like misses and like falls down, but like almost falls down like
as herself, not as She-Hulk.
It's so slapsticky. Like it's like I'm surprised the rake didn't come up and hit her in the nose. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
Foghorn Leghorn is in the background saying, "I say."
I was like, has anyone writing, acting, or working on this show ever been drunk? It comes across as like a middle school play of a bar scene of Hans Christian Andersen where they're trying to imagine what it would be like to be intoxicated,
or like a high school musical of Peter Pan where the kids are actually drinking and smoking,
or Pinocchio.
That would get people to come to the high school auditorium. Yeah.
But I just think it's a joke.
I don't understand what the point.
I'm surprised you guys are still watching. It's homework.
Just at this point, I'm just getting through it.
It's just to have a valid opinion on it. And it's effortless. It's like 30 minutes. And
it's not even that.
You need like 0.0018% of your brain to digest it. Yeah.
So got through that, and then I'll say I cleansed my palate with Andor. I'm enjoying Andor. The first 2 episodes was a slow burn, but the third episode, so like Mason watched the first 2 with me, and it was Kelly and Mason play a game called Splatoon on the Switch. It's a huge game. They have something called Splatfest every so often. So it's a whole weekend of tournaments, and they were playing that all weekend. I'm like, look, I want to watch this show. Are you going to watch it? He's like, I didn't really dig the first 2. I was like, well, I'm going to watch the third one without you. So I watched it. I'm like, you got to watch the third episode because that's like everything happens. Finally, like all the action starts getting.
But once
revved
again,
up.
it was a slow burn, and like I appreciated it, and it's like it really is. It's kind of what I've been asking for. Now it's very serious.
It's very, very serious,
and I don't think that Star Wars always needs to be this serious.
yeah, but it's been slapsticky for a while.
Agreed.
Even though-
it's time for the pendulum to swing back.
Even in the Obi-Wan stuff, there's
I agree.
some slapstick aspects, and there's some slapstick, and we get a droid here, but he's not like
He's not over the top.
oh, I'm the droid.
He's
Pay
not
attention
over
to
the top.
me.
He's cute,
I hate they call him B,
but he's not over the top.
but it is fine.
He but it's like it is like, you know, I've always been saying, like, man, give me the Cantina characters or give me Jabba's Palace characters and make it a gangster movie. Like,
Yes.
really play it straight like a gangster movie, not like a Star Wars fun spoof of a gangster movie. Play it like a fucking gangster movie, you know, like where these characters are scared of fucking their boss and making mistakes. And
So I thought this did a good job.
this is an espionage
It
movie
is.
in the Star Wars
And it
universe.
does a good
played
job.
straight up.
To me at least, showing like, I'll give you the example, the salesman that was riding with what's his name on the way into the planet. Forgive me for not knowing. The older guy that came to pick up Cassian, they're riding on the bus together, and the guy's they're getting the fees and everything, and then you know, you're just getting some like salt of the earth people that are like, everything's kind of been fucked up since the Empire took over.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff. I love
He's
seeing
playing
that
the
stuff.
shit out of that role. Like you can see he's like, this is a dude with demons.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, in the backstory, like the way they did those flashbacks to kind of like parallel what's happening,
I totally
like
agree.
leaving in the ship versus leaving in the ship.
totally
I'm like,
agree.
dude, it's so fucking
masterful.
good. It's very well done.
Let me see. I wrote some notes for that one too. I said I like the tone. I like the story. I haven't latched on to any of the characters yet. Like that is true. If I would have a one complaint, shit is said in it.
Well, so that's a big deal. That's been a big deal online. It's the first time they've actually said a cuss word, quote unquote, in the Star Wars
Yeah, they said
universe.
hell
And damn.
and damn.
But they've never said, you know, dank ferric or whatever.
Right. So here, let me say this. I don't think it's amazing.
Okay.
What did I say? Because I'm proud of this. I'm not sure it will stand the test of time or be all that memorable, but it is a well-shot, well-acted, interesting story told inside the Star Wars universe, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's just some, yeah. I mean, there's some little things that they do, like setting up that these guys working in this, I guess what do they do? The demolition, you know, where they're tearing apart these AT-ATs or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, they have this routine where every day they hang their gloves up. And, you know, it's just establishing some routines. And
I love that shit. The culture.
Yeah. It's a cool world. And forgive me for not knowing the name of the planet. There's something, I guess,
it
new.
doesn't matter.
But I have a feeling that maybe the last we see of that planet. I don't know.
Maybe.
Because Bix, the young lady's still there. And her rat ass husband.
Yeah.
He got killed in the street like a rat.
Yeah.
Like he was supposed to.
Yeah, it's true. And then this is the last thing I have to say about it. And it's a bit of a bold statement, but I'm going to say it. This is the best live action show that Disney Plus that I've ever seen on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Oh, just overall, not even
Period.
just Star Wars. Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Looking forward to seeing it in another 3 weeks.
I watched one other Star Wars related thing, and it was I don't remember what exactly it's called. It's the behind the scenes of making Obi-Wan.
Oh, okay.
It was interesting to, you know, see
I would watch that.
Ewan McGregor's. It's an hour long on Disney.
Yeah, I would-
you know, his perspective on it all.
Extra bonus content. You love that shit.
Basically, that's what it is. So, you know, there's an interview with obviously
You and
Hayden Christensen,
that was my
and
second guess.
Yeah, and then them together, you know, it was just kind of neat seeing, you know, like he tells a story of, I think it was the first time he was coming out in the Vader costume that like, or maybe Obi-Wan, like his scenes were over like hours ago, but he hung around. He wanted to see it and like gave him a line of sight because he stood right by the camera and like, you know, I just thought that was neat.
Yeah.
that those guys
cool.
have that kind of bond.
Yeah.
You know, 20 years ago. It's crazy to think about, but.
Not to tie it back to Lord of the Rings, but it makes me, I don't know if you noticed, but like every now and then, like the hobbits like get back together. Like they'll be like on social media. You just see this picture.
In real life. Yes.
But just having dinner together, and it always makes me feel good in my soul.
I think the pandemic caused a lot of that to happen. I think a lot of people, that, hey, let's get together on Zoom. Like, well, fuck, everything's kind of back to normal. Let's get together in person. And
it's cool to see people build a bond and stayed friends. And
as much as we think, these people are Hollywood stars that come and go. No, they're probably just as like, I really don't feel like, I don't want to call, I don't want to bother that person to call them. So, that kind of stuff. Exactly.
They live on a different scale than we do, maybe, but they have similar, at least, like life experiences. And
exactly.
Thoughts and emotions.
Did you not go to RetroCon?
I did not.
Huh. All right. Do you usually go?
I've never been to RetroCon.
Oh, really? I must be getting
I did have a score from RetroCon.
Did you really?
Gort found me a Simpsons figure. I think I'm down to two play sets and 2 figures to have the retail, not the mailaways. The retail stuff done.
It's still impressive.
That's impressive. Yeah, that's
most impressive.
Getting there, bro.
It is.
General Veers, you're too close to me.
Dioramas, we're doing dioramas again, so I've been busy with that. Legion's Con is in the beginning of November. Will be our next show we're doing. So,
is site shop back down already yet?
What now?
Is your site shop? And sometimes you'll open up things.
Oh, the website's open fully right now. Okay. Yeah,
because sometimes you're like, that's enough.
Well, that's what we're doing. I think today I'm putting out the 2-week warning.
Yeah,
so we just don't want to be overwhelmed, And I hate taking longer than We always put 4 to 6 weeks. I hate ever going that long, so I'm thinking 4 weeks is more realistic right now.
Especially the farther out you stay from like the holiday season for shipping, the better.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to get mixed up in that shit.
Yep. I think. I started Cyberpunk over.
Nice.
With the
Jesus Christ.
Well, with the new mods and everything.
That is, dude, best money you ever spent.
It definitely is.
Some games feel like that, man. Some games I still revisit.
Yep. So I think that's really it.
That's one thing I love about open world games is you can just fucking live there for a bit.
Exactly.
Joseph.
So speaking of Cyberpunk, we binged all of it last night. We're planning to.
Edge Runners?
Yeah. We were like, let's do half today and half tomorrow because I was off today and like fucking end up watching the whole fucking thing.
It goes so quick.
It's fucking great.
It is.
It's fucking great. And it's also rated well. I didn't know,
Rated? What do you mean?
Like, because usually when we watch things, we look it up on, like I said, I Google it to see what's on Google and.
Oh, rated. Google, I was thinking like in like TVM or whatever, but rated, people are enjoying it.
Yeah. It's like 100 on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that.
It's really
90 on Google users. I'm like,
yeah.
But it's got like basically all the best parts of the anime.
Yeah.
In one place. I loved it. Like every moment of it.
Nice.
And the ending didn't disappoint.
Right.
I'm gonna say it's hard to say I love it, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The ending, that is.
The ending's a little harsh, but
that's how I love
it. Ties it up.
I love animes, especially Studio Trigger stuff like this. I'm not sure that end.
That's Chris Gaines, sir.
Chris Gaines and kind of like that.
Chris Gaines probably loves anime, but Garth hates it.
You should wear that shirt only during bulking for Chris Gaines.
Oh shit.
Well, it does a great job to me. Like, if they want to play around in that world more like another season, they absolutely can. But those characters' arc is over.
Yeah.
Right? And you're not going to see them anymore.
Yeah, but that's what I like about worlds that are fleshed out and large, like Star Wars, like Lord of the Rings, like any well-written world that's not just single story. You can just have things happen anywhere there, and it would make sense because the world itself. You're not just attached to specific characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe you should watch it. Well, you don't have Netflix.
No, cancel that.
Oh man, keep forgetting.
Canceled it.
And you want me to,
actually, what's funny?
Burn it on a DVD for you?
So little confession. I kind of do have Netflix at the moment.
I mean, who doesn't? You have passwords.
Because Jaina asked for it for her birthday, and I told her no. But her grandmother, on her mother's side, I'll have you know, bought her a 2-month subscription to Netflix so she could finish watching Stranger Things because she was like halfway through Stranger Things.
At some point. But yeah, I mean, you might like it.
Maybe.
Even though it's anime.
Maybe. I'll be honest with you. Like, so we've had it now since my daughter's birthday, September 4th. So we've had it since September 4th. I haven't bothered turning it on. Like, I've well learned, like, it's one platform. I don't need.
Yeah.
Well, unless it's something, you have access to it. So like, not that you would, because I have platforms that don't just go trolling through, where like a channel surf or whatever. But I would know the specific things on there that I want to watch. Then I go to that platform and watch it.
It makes me think about the way that I approach all of this subscription shit. Is that, you know, HBO I need because like I do go to that one time and time again, but like I don't think I need Hulu. I don't think I need Amazon Prime. Like I don't
you just
need
have
them,
Amazon
but
Prime.
I just have Amazon Prime, so that's not really not fair. But like the Hulu one and Netflix, it's almost like, man, maybe. And I have Hulu for free right now too, so I guess it's not. But if there, let's say there was something else.
Yeah. Because we don't pay for that many.
Yeah, I don't.
Right?
I don't.
That's the thing. It's fine. Some people do though.
Yeah, but I think
people pay for
I would
5 or
just
6.
cycle them. Like I would turn Netflix on for a month, turn it off, turn Paramount Plus on.
that
for a
would
month.
If
make
there was a
sense.
service you could pay that would do that for you, because it's just remembering.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got to cancel this
Yeah.
shit. And are you sure? We'll do it for
Yeah,
$1 now.
yeah.
Are you sure?
We'll pay you $1.
How about we send you a $10 credit and we'll give you 3 months? You know, it's like
I thought there is an app that keeps track of subscription services overall, like
Yeah.
everything you subscribe to.
Yeah, Netflix.
But I
is-
mean, that makes sense because things don't generally go. Some movies do because of licensing, whatever. But then
Right.
they go to a different platform.
Right.
You can always watch it. But yeah, it makes sense to like cycle, binge, whatever you want to binge.
yeah, get
cycle
rid of
out.
it. You know, for a couple
worst
months.
case,
to
3
keep up.
more months it comes around. Or
You know, keep a list of shit you want to catch up on when you get back to it. But you
I
know.
mean, that actually works more for my lifestyle than a lot of people who likes episodic shit. Like they
Right,
can't
right,
wait. They
right.
have to either keep. They want to watch something immediately.
and that's the only reason
That's the
why
problem.
I need HBO and mainly Disney Plus.
Disney Plus,
Yeah.
Yeah, because you want to watch it.
Yeah.
and Pinocchio. By the way, speaking of HBO Max, I saw your all-time favorite DC movie is now available to
There's
stream.
getting ready to be some bullshit. Go ahead.
No, it's Wonder Super Pets or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, dude, it's great. It is great.
It's on streaming now.
It's on where?
It's on HBO Max.
Best superhero movie this year so far.
We'll probably watch it at some point.
Best superhero movie this year
I'm
so
probably
far.
gonna like. I think we're supposed to do Thor for
And 7
movie
years
night,
ago.
but I think we're gonna. I'm gonna try to push Super Pets over that,
Dude,
dude.
it's-
I'm just not interested in watching Thor 4.
It's not great.
I'm just kind of over
It's
Marvel.
not.
Yeah, I tell you, the Super Pets, man, it's just good fun. It makes you feel good to watch it. You know, and I told you I got fucking emotional during that scene, and I started laughing at myself just how silly I felt.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to watch things that makes you feel good, man.
Yeah,
That's it.
I watched something I was very confused about. It's on Shudder.
No boy.
It's called Mad God. It is made.
Oh, you see, if you grew up Catholic, Joe, you wouldn't be confused at all. He's furious most of the time.
Well, yeah, but depending on which part of the Bible you read, right? He gets like,
He gets a little bit touchy feely in the second half.
Heyo.
and it gets like he mellows out like a bunch towards the end, and then he fucking gets
Yeah,
pissed
then he
again.
loses it.
It's like at the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
It's just one of those opposite of a compliment sandwich.
Yes.
It's an anger sandwich.
Yeah, it's person who made it is like also had stuff to do with Star Wars and other big name things for visual effects.
Okay.
It says hour and a half long stop motion
Okay.
My
thing
goodness.
that has some live acting interspersed throughout.
How would it look with Tool music set behind it?
Perfect. Exactly. But that's the thing. Imagine an hour and a half Tool
Music
video
video.
with no lyrics.
Right.
So you have no idea what the fuck it's supposed to be.
Right.
So like while a lot of visuals are extremely interesting, especially like thinking about how they made this shit, because as crafters we're like, oh man, that's a nice set or whatever, and especially with stop motion. But after about 30 to 45 minutes, because I didn't want to think about it more, like I lost interest. I'm still watching it because I've already gotten that far. It's like I know I'm watching something impressive, but it's just beyond me.
So kind of more of an
over my head.
art piece.
Yeah. But it's like it's got really good reviews
called
from
Mad
critics.
God?
Yeah, just look up. Yeah, just Google and look at pictures of it. I know there's like a message or messages there, but I don't want to turn my brain on to try to interpret this art. It's
Yeah.
obviously art.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the artist failed, like as you would say,
Yeah.
because I didn't understand it, or
Right.
if it's just my
Or if you failed.
fucking failed
If
to
the audience failed or the
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think people would like to at least to watch the first 10 to 15 minutes, and you'll
You'll know whether or not you're in for it or not.
well, then you like it. You should like at least the first 10, 15 minutes of it just for like the visuals.
Okay. All right.
It's different.
Yeah.
Phil Tippett has finally released his Magnum.
Phil Tippett.
Yeah, that's him.
Magnum
Yeah, yeah,
opus.
yeah.
I mean, the visuals, I've just got the trailer pulled up. I mean, it's super
great.
well done. I almost want to watch it just
Exactly.
to figure out how they did
There's
some
a lot
of
of
it.
good visuals in there. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, he is amazing.
And it's got kind of like a...
So he's the well-known guy.
Yeah, he's the man.
Okay.
Bill Tipp is the man.
So obviously it's me as an audience who's not educated.
No, because even the man's capable of making some bullshit. You know what I mean?
This is his man. This is like he's proud. He says it's 20 years in the making. This is like his life's work.
Because like he everything like I think from like Muppets to Fraggles to fucking Star Wars to Jurassic Park to fucking what I mean, like he's Aliens, like he's had his big toe in all that shit.
Yeah. So I'm gonna chalk it up to me not understanding it.
Actually, Jurassic Park may have been the end of his kind of like front page career,
blockbuster,
because I think it was when he saw the CGI shots. He was like that. Actually, the line in I believe, don't quote me on this. We have to come up with Jurassic Park fandom names if I'm wrong on this. The line in Jurassic Park where they say, I think we've just gone extinct as archaeologists, because is a line that he said when he saw the CGI work about his work, because he did the kind of puppet stuff for Jurassic Park that they didn't end up using. And then they may have, because he did a whole bunch of stop motion stuff that they didn't end up using, and he may have had something to do with like the real puppets, like the big T-Rex head and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean,
it looks interesting for sure.
It's very interesting visually, but like after a while, it just
a little of some of those. What was that one? I think it was just called 9. It was about
I like the movie.
9 of these little creatures.
It was like a little
that were,
puppet, also like little Sackboy.
Sackboy and it's like Laika, Laika is the
I
studio.
shop there.
Yeah, me too. They have they did Paranorman and Coraline. I
remember something. That's a Japanese short. That's and same short stop motion style. That was like 15 minutes, but I understood that story, but I like that style. I like stop motion style.
Right.
I don't have to have dialogue, but I don't have an artistic brain to interpret things. Sometimes I'm too logical.
Right. Gotcha.
British Baking Show is back, but I have to keep myself from watching it
because you are cutting.
No, because it is episodic.
They didn't drop it all at once? I thought
they didn't last year either.
Netflix, right?
Yeah, Netflix. I think they were dropping things seasonally because they weren't caught up. They were releasing old seasons.
So now it's premiering on them?
Yeah, it's like...
They bought the rights. It's crazy how that works.
So like in November, I'll get to watch it. But I found out there was great American baking show. Just season 4 and 5 and just the holiday seasons. I watched those. I think it was on...
Makes sense.
One of the services. But they had Baby Spice and some football player named Spice on it as the host. But they were also...
Spice One?
They were in...
His Uzi weigh a ton. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
They were in... They took him to the... I don't understand. So it's a great American baking show, right? So they have American contestants. And one of the hosts are American. But they brought them to the British locale.
Okay.
So they use the same kitchen. Like, it's just... Why didn't we put our own like we did with like American Idol and that shit?
Yeah.
And just have our own show. Then
speaking of which, I was cut you off real quick, but like I was watching. I wasn't watching. I happened to walk into a room yesterday randomly, and The Simpsons was on, and it was a rerun. It was during the day, and there was this like it was Homer talking to Lisa, and he was like, and it's a different world out there, Lisa. It's no longer the same world. He's like, there's the internet. He was like, broadcast television is awful. And as soon as he said that, like this like screen popped up down at the bottom. It was like, coming up next. So you think you can dentist? And it was
you think you can dentist. Oh man.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And then watch some Iron Chef. It's very different. It's the same chairman, the same guy. But like, I don't recognize any of the new Iron Chefs. It's a completely different format because I've been watching it a long time.
They killed all the old ones. They died in battle.
What if though?
Yeah, that was it.
Fucking sushi knife yourself if you don't fucking win.
They had to eat the blowfish and it didn't go well,
bro. That is the test though, right?
That's a Simpsons episode.
that is the test. Will you eat your own blowfish, so to speak?
Oh, hey,
I would not. And lots of blender.
Nice.
Also, like it's weird. It gives me a reason to wake up early in the morning. It's been a long time since I woke up to do some shit.
Yeah.
Like on my days off, I'd be sleeping in or whatever and get up whenever I feel like. Now I'm just like, I find myself getting up earlier and more excited in the mornings I'm off than my work day. Because sometimes I have to like wake up at 7:30 or whatever for work. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm so tired. I can't roll out of bed. And then on my days off, I'm like, 7, fuck, time's a ticking. I got to go. So that's exciting. And that's what I was doing this morning before I came. And that's what I'll be doing afterwards.
Nice.
But like, I have to question myself some stuff though. Like, I have to ask myself, why am I doing what I'm doing in many aspects of it? Because I don't have to. So imagine you guys craft stuff, right? And you use pre-made tools, and that's no problem. Like you use pre-made trees, I guess. You would use pre-made trees to stick in the background, like those plants and stuff.
I mean, I use pre-made brushes on Procreate.
Yeah, but like you wouldn't like, I can make a fake plant myself, so let me get some paper mache and fucking make leaves and paint it green. It's basically what I'm doing, I find. I have a mental hang up right now on like not downloading assets that I could be using. Like I want to make my own. I haven't gotten that far, but like I know I can download rocks, right, and shit. But I'm thinking to myself, but if I don't make my own rock, did I really make this product, for lack of a better word? This, you know. Mm-hmm. I feel like I need to make everything in it, even though I definitely don't need to, and it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time and effort because it's free. There's people who have like, look, we've made lots of plants and lots of rocks, and you can have it. And I'm just like, well, I have a mental hang up right now of not.
I do too, but here's how I've gotten around it. If I know how to do something, I'm okay with taking it a pre-made piece. It's just how it is in my head, like. If I understand how they created that, then I'm okay with it. But if I don't know how they did that, I feel weird about including it in my art. So I want to. Okay. So I want to know how to do that. Once I know how to do it, even if I don't understand how they got it the way it was, I'm more comfortable doing it because I feel like I could do that if given the time. If I took the time, I could do that.
Right, and it's not just taking someone's work.
Yeah, I'm not just taking somebody else's work and slapping it yourself. Mine. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Mine, I think it comes down to like I don't view like the dioramas and shit as any kind of like art thing. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm like it's totally about the tool. Like I'm trying to make the shelf look good. So like if I could just buy the whole diorama and just plop it in, I probably would have done that. You know, but like
see, you say that though, man, but I really think. From an artistic standpoint, that is a big outlet for you.
I think from a craft standpoint, it is. Like
call it whatever you want,
because I do like that. I do like the dopamine of like finishing something. But like I'm not like
just being creative. Don't you just have some kind of feeling like I made this, I created this?
I don't think so. You know, because I'm okay with Laura like doing a good bit of it, and you know what I mean. Like it's like. I don't know. Like I think that like, but I do have it I do have it in other ways inside of it, right? So like there are buildings or walls that I'm like, man, you're not even gonna really see this like in the diorama, but I will feel the need to wash it, to dry brush it, to go through all the steps, even though you're not going to see it or not, it's not going to be noticeable, only because I don't want to feel lazy about it. That's what I struggle with more often than not. Sometimes I think I do it to a fault where I actually make things look worse because I put more into them than they need. And I do it only to prove it to myself that I didn't take the fucking shortcut. Yeah.
So that's what it is. Like I part of it is I want to prove it to myself that
that's a pride thing. And I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I guess nothing wrong with it. It's just like, is it a morality standpoint or is it like an efficiency standpoint? You know,
I guess what's the goal?
To make something,
like to finish something for the sake of finishing it.
To make something I wanted to make.
If that's the only goal, then I would say just use the pre-made plants and shit. You know, but if the goal is like, I want to create a faux world. Like that's like I got skin in the game. It's for me. It's for, you know, then that's more complicated.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. Like I want to make this thing that I want to make for me.
Then you got to do it your own.
Yeah. So just gotta take the time. Yeah. Until
As long as you don't hate it.
Yeah.
You know, because if you find yourself hating what you're doing, now you've turned something that's supposed to be recreational. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
it's like, what's the point?
Yeah. It's always a mind game with me.
Yeah.
But that's it because that's all I've been focusing on. Oh, we've been having house guests. I haven't mentioned it. It's kind of like not a well-known thing. That I've had a house guest for a little bit, but she got Krista to be watching some trashy show that I'm listening to in the background. It's called Bling. Bling Life or some shit like that. It's
It all checks out.
It's like rich Asian people reality show, which I did not know exist.
Really?
I saw the fake one.
The what?
Crazy Rich
but
Asians.
People like that movie.
It was good.
Well received, but these are like people in LA and shit, just like rich Asian people acting rich but being Asian at the same time, and I'm just like, bro, people watch this shit.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's been 20 plus years. I still don't understand reality TV. That's not a competition show. I understand those, like Survivor or whatever. I understand, but like just the following people around.
Well, it's funny because like I loved like the first couple seasons of Real World. You know, maybe that was something the novelty of it. You know,
but that's also different, right? Everyone's put in one room.
it's like a social experiment.
Yeah. So it's still different than what it is now, which is following people around and cutting reels from.
Have you seen that viral TikToker guy that like goes up to people and asks them like random questions that are kind of like elementary largely, and it just shows how stupid fucking people are and like they don't know shit. And then
I don't know if it's that one particular guy, but I've seen those videos. Like,
he's made like a name for himself. Like they put him up on a billboard and shit. Like
shit.
Yeah. So
there's some.
Anyway, he did this other thing where like he asked all these questions, general. You know,
what
like,
state is
like,
how many states are in America?
Yes,
some people will be like 48 or 52.
What two countries fought in the Mexico-American War or the Mexican-American War? You know, shit like that. And then they'll be like, I don't know. But think about it, the Mexican-American War. What two countries? And they're like France and Britain. And then he always says yes. He always says yes to their wrong answers. Yes. Anyway, they had this other clip of him where he like asked like name the 3 Kardashian sisters. And motherfuckers spit that shit out, like just rattle them off. Courtney, Chloe, and Kim, I think, are the 3, but like they rattle them off like without skipping a beat.
See, I only knew Kim, but now I know the other 2.
Yeah, and one is like it's questionable if she's really part of the family or not because she look a little different than the rest.
Yeah,
like there's like 2 of them that are fine as hell, and then there's the third one that's like also attractive.
Well, she has changed herself over the years quite a bit,
as they all have. To be fair, yeah. Yeah, did you see Kanye put up that like story and it was like, I feel you, London. I lost my queen too.
That man's off the rails.
Wow, really? Wow.
I think it was more if he just didn't want to put up with his queen anymore.
I don't know. I think it was a little bit of his queen didn't want to put up with him too.
Yeah. I mean, I could imagine he's a lot.
Yeah.
He'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine her and her fucking reality show and all that family is anywhere near normal either.
Yeah, I agree.
All I can say in any of these situations, in all these reality shows, and it's like fucking poor kids.
Yeah.
Because they all have kids. All of them. Every single one of them. It's just, fuck. And I experienced an emotion that I don't think I've ever felt before.
What was it?
We're joking around at work. Because I work at a lot of places. But now I'm more centralized in one place. We were saying something, and then someone was like, "No, you're one of us. You're part of this place." And then everyone was like, "Yeah, you're this place. You're ours." And I'm like, I don't know. I never had a feeling of pride at work. Like I belong. Like, oh, that's my place. Like someone claimed me. I'm like, bro, I don't think I've ever felt that way about work before.
Well, that's awesome.
That's cool. That's different.
That's awesome. You know, I feel very much like not like part of my company, but very much part of my location.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I've been part of my location now for 15 years, and like I'm like ingrained in that fucking shit.
part of crew.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's it for me for my note week.
I don't have much. I honestly don't have much left.
Well, we had the same crossovers.
We had a lot of crossover. So I have one question for you guys. And the other thing, I went to Dante's and did an episode.
Oh, you went there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, I like the in-person stuff. So like rounded up the kids.
I don't know. Usually, I mean, I don't know if he came here or, you know.
So we left it up to him.
Okay.
We would have loved to have him out here. Like, you know, it is a delicate dance, right? So like Dante, beloved friend of mine.
Yes.
Married with a child, lovely family. But that's 3 people. Right. And I'm bringing a squad of 5. So like now Dante and them come over here a lot and we always treat, of course, to whatever. We would never be like, hey man, what you got in on the, you know what I mean? Spaghetti or whatever.
Got my drink, homie.
But I still feel guilty bringing the whole goof troop to somebody else's house.
Watch it.
You know, and saying like, you know, all right, foot the bill for the pizza. And we put some pizza away, Dante, so there better be plenty. You know what I mean? Like, I always feel weird about it. But so I left the ball up to him. Like, look, we'd be happy to have you out. And then, you know, we got you, or you can have us, whatever you want to do. I'm good with it. And he's like, no, come on out. So we came on out.
Have you been there before?
Not to this spot. I was I went to his other spot, the one
This
he
is
had.
the first time at this house. Nice.
Yep. And it was awesome. Like I went down in his basement. He's got I don't know why in my head, just from the way he talks, he's like, yeah, I got, you know, a couple Marvel Legends, and I imagine it like on like one half a bookcase. Like this whole fucking basement is done in fucking Marvel Legends and fucking and some DC stuff. Like
I mean, like
when you think about it, it makes sense
because of how he
long,
collects it.
He
collects it, but he does talk about like, oh, I have some stuff here and there.
Sorry, Dante.
And there's like,
it's all my fault.
It is true. And then there's like, he's got like, you know, because it's kind of like I have with Star Wars to an extent, where like I have enough where I can have like, you know, Anakin on this shelf with the team, and I can also have Anakin over here fighting on this shelf or whatever. So he's got the same things. He's got like, you know, fight scenes here, team scenes here. Like, you know, it's like it's hodgepodgey. You know what I mean? It's like somewhere on a TV stand, somewhere on a, but like it's also like it works, and it's like I've never been around so many fucking Marvel Legends at one time
that weren't yours.
He's got more than me.
No way.
Fuck yeah.
But I thought he only had the X-Men shit.
Nope.
Oh,
he says that.
Okay.
But you listen to him when he says he's picking up stuff, or his wife is picking up stuff for him, and you realize how much he's got.
Ton. Then he's got other things where he's got like a piece of art that he picked up from like a Comic-Con or something, and it'll be framed, and then below it will be a little shelf with like different iterations of that character. Right.
Oh,
Like he's got
nice.
some pretty cool shit over there. Anyway, so that was cool. We had a long kind of episode about the Exorcist, which is he's gonna put out on So You Like Horror. I think in 2 weeks or so. Jaina was involved in the conversation because she watched it, and Laura, and then his wife Sarah, and then him and I. Recording kept cutting out like over and over and over again. Just saying there's some evil shit in the universe. That's all I'm going to say about it.
You didn't bring your gear just in case for backup?
No, you know, I didn't. I should have, but I didn't. And then the only other...
We're supposed to have one. I feel bad because I had to cancel it. We're supposed to have one on Saturday too, but because of my house guest situation, like I can't. So
yeah, I have no idea. It was, maybe I'll talk to you after the show. Yeah. So, all right, I got a question for you guys. This came from a conversation that I saw where somebody tweeted, you know, this video game experience is in my top 10 experiences in life.
Huh.
And this guy who I'm a fan of responded and said it shouldn't be.
Oh.
And I understand both. I understand both points of view. But like
Really? Okay.
So like, and like the guy ended up kind of making a monkey of some of these people, so to speak. But he was like, because they would be like, yeah, like, well, you got to understand, like I'm depressed and I'm this and that, and therefore playing a video game and having success gives me joy. And he was like, yeah, but I'm here to say that like I've just looked through your feed, and like he like put up screenshots and shit. It was like just finished 13th straight hour of such and such. He's like, my suggestion is that you probably are depressed because you're playing video games all day. Like, you know, but it was like everybody that like he was quick. I'll give it to him. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It just got me thinking. Like, I wouldn't say that video games are in my top 10 experiences of all time, but they are in my top 100 of all time. I would say that somewhere in there probably is a video game experience.
As a whole. Or as a specific
experience, like a specific experience. And then I was raising, like, what do you guys think of some of your best video game experiences of all time? And I since I've had time to think about it, the one I've told here 100 times, but like where that guy was talking a whole bunch of shit about Mortal Kombat 3, and we walked up to the arcade and I beat his ass and like beat his ass, like he left in a mop bucket, like and you know, and Laura like took pride in it. Like I have like a great feeling about that. I have another Mortal Kombat one with me and this guy Tony, who I kind of grew up with, was in my neighborhood. We went up and we
Just Tony, no weird name?
no, I'm gonna leave it alone. But he
there's one.
Yeah, it's not so good.
we got so good at that shit. We were like the and one of Mortal Kombat 2.
Nice.
We're like he would hit like a combo and like spin off of it, and then I would jump in and hit somebody with a combo and spin off of it, and then he like it was like a trick shit. Like and we fucking like when we started beating the Korean kids, that's when we knew we had a thing going.
Yeah, you start beating the Asian kids.
Yeah,
okay.
I think like you know, beating Mario Brothers for the first time was like was one of those moments. But anyway, I just got to thinking, had some great video game moments. In my life.
Exactly. I have had a lot of great video game moments. Like video game experience as a whole, all of it. It's definitely top 10. Like experiences in my life. A lot of my life has been shaped by particular video games. Like. I know I've mentioned before, like, but the original Final Fantasy VII game on PlayStation 1, like, changed my nerddom completely. Like, it changed how I view life completely. But, like, at finishing at a time was great, but that in itself wasn't the top 10 life moment. But it's just part of everything. Street Fighter versus, we had the same experience as you with Street Fighter versus X-Men when it first came out. Me and my other Asian friend were really fucking good. You know, in that game, you pick two characters and you actually tag out. We would do that. He would pick a character, I pick a character, and we tag each other out in the game to play. It was that fucking good. But just the best video game moments, I don't know. I don't think I've ever had any. I've beaten many games.
Well, so the other thing that I was thinking about is a lot of my greatest video game moments were not just me in the game.
Right.
Yeah, it was with
someone else.
people.
Dude, I remember like me and my brothers like sitting around playing GoldenEye. You know, like fucking fantastic. You know, I remember. Me and friends playing Mortal Kombat or
so a lot of moments come out in my life where I was playing games.
But it is more. There's more to it than just me in the game. I have a few me in the game moments, but I think the ones that spring to mind are these larger. You know, like. Dude, even like getting fucked, I would get fucked up in the afternoon, like on a Saturday or something, and play Donkey Kong with the kids. You know what I mean? Like that's up there for me. You know what I mean? I get mad as hell. I would get mad as hell at the fucking game. Like, and the kids are laughing at me because I'm so ridiculous. Like,
it's like it's a medium for good times and not the good time itself.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because I have so many childhood memories of like playing games with my friends. Like I remember playing Sonic. I remember playing Dragon Ball Z when they didn't know what the fucking Dragon Ball Z was because I had a foreign system.
Right.
Like there was a lot of moments I've had with people. Like
I think mine
Street Fighter tournaments. That was good times.
Mine are tied to people. I remember when the Street Fighter 2 came out on the Super Nintendo. That we had it in down in our basement where we had our video games. We had a couple. You know how when you're kids, the chairs you have in the basement are just whatever chairs that happen. So like my dad brought an old office chair from work home, and I remember one of my buddies would sit in that, and it was a rolling chair, and he could not sit still. He was sliding like to the as far as the controller would take, and just moving around. I remember that distinctly. I remember on the N64 playing probably WCW NWO Revenge with 4 people, and just like we've had this like 30-minute match, and somebody accidentally hits the fucking power button. I'm like, no. But I think back to your original point, that person who is having this life experience, that's probably just them and. I don't. Who knows what game it is? That's probably just them in the game having that experience. They're not there with other people. I almost guarantee.
I would say the same
that situation.
But also, like, for gaming is as good games, right? Now there's 2 different kinds of games to me. Back in the day was where's a skill challenge, like how far you can't beat Pac-Man. You can only go as far as you can go, right?
Right.
So that's an achievement. But nowadays it's more cinematic experiences.
Yeah.
So it's it's an interactive movie. Like I love many of these games, and there have been great stories or whatever. But I don't feel like I personally achieved anything. So it to me is comparable to watching a really fucking good movie. mostly which hasn't changed my life.
Yeah.
Right. And even when I think about like movie experiences that would be like in my top whatever, it's not me in the movie. It's like, man, I remember all fucking 30 of us went and saw episode 1 for the first time, and fucking Stal passed out afterwards, and like because he had nothing but alcohol and marijuana in his system, and funny story. So he passed out. Shane, my buddy Shane, I had to put him in the car. He had pissed himself, so I put up. I had a Columbia rain jacket. I put that on underneath him to like protect my cloth seats of my Chrysler New Yorker.
Yes, I want to get those fucked up.
And I drove him home, picked him up, like me and this other buddy picked him up, took him in the house, put him in bed, went on home. And I called him the next day, like to check in on him. And I was like, dude, what the fuck, man? He's like, dude, the effects are just too real.
Like, Bobby, I'll be honest with you. That last,
and he didn't give a fuck about Star Wars, which kind of makes it like even more funny,
I don't remember anything about that Planet of the Apes movie other than you trying to not get bodied.
Yeah, by this dude that was 8 feet tall.
Yeah,
and with a 3-foot beard.
Remember there was a roller skate? I went to in Colombia. Did you ever go to the skating rink?
Fuck yeah, Supreme Sports Club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that just sounds like trouble.
We might have been there at the same time because I used to go every Friday or Saturday night.
Yeah, I went Friday night.
Did you ever pick on any Asian kids when you were there?
No, we fought Patuxent Valley kids.
Okay, cool.
I'm Patuxent Valley.
Oh, if you were hanging with the people that want to smoke, because like Owen Brown of Patuxent Valley had a beef.
I was Patuxent Valley for a little bit before I got sent to like the Christian school and then military boarding school.
So we fought Patuxent Valley kids all the time.
Patuxent Valley was a nice school. I don't know about Owen Brown. Though.
It wasn't. Actually, it was funny. It's a side note. My wife, we took a walk with the dog on Saturday while Leia was in dance, right? And they have like a little like farmer's market up here now. It's like it doesn't matter.
Yes.
But like this lady that's up there, my wife like knows. My wife is like a celebrity in this neighborhood. Like she like treated half these people.
Is she in the Facebook group though?
It actually makes me feel a little bit weird sometimes. Like dudes like pull up and it's like, where have you been? I can't find your name. I'm like, man, what the fuck is going on? But like anyway, we were talking and she said she used to be a teacher, and but she went to Owen Brown, and she's like she quit.
Wow,
yeah.
Wow, was that bad?
It is not like it was that. It was just like the kids are. I think the kids have gotten a little. Yeah.
But yeah, I was Patuxent. But we used to go to like, and I would hardly skate. I would rollerblading. I would rollerblade a couple fucking rounds, and then I would play the wrestling game. The only wrestling video game I ever enjoyed, because I think there was only game that was there.
An arcade game?
Yeah, it's an arcade game. And would grab pizza and would just fucking play wrestling till my parents came to pick us up.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember. I played,
it's weird. I haven't thought about that skating rink.
I played the wall
till now
because I played the wall. But it often ended up being like a pretty smooth trick, because if you were on the wall long enough, sooner or later a girl's gonna come up and be like, "Do you need help? You want me to hold your hand?"
At the skating rink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just made me think of another video game.
I was not cool like that.
I remember, like, we had our 8th grade graduation or whatever, and then, like, we had planned this. My mom took me and, like, I guess 3 of my friends to the mall when we all had our roller quarters, and, like, we're going to beat this fucking Turtles game today.
Oh,
and we did.
Dude.
We took, like, $40 to beat it.
Yep. Dude.
That was a G.I. Joe game that was like, there was a lot of games that were just quarter eaters. Like, they were not meant for you to fucking win.
I ever tell you about that time I had a birthday party and 2 people showed up?
No, I don't think so.
So I think it's why I'm so weird about people RSVPing to events and shit, like to this day. So I was in 6th grade and I was trying to have a party. My mother is like, my father was like, "No, you're sick. You're in middle school. Your birthday parties are done." But I was like, well, not like a pin to tail on a donkey. You know what I mean? But it's like hang out, play music, like whatever. And my wife was like, my mom, that was Freudian.
Wow.
Was like, I'll do it. I'll host it, whatever. And it wasn't well organized. Like the invites didn't go out quite right. Like it was all kind of fucked up. And then 2 people ended up showing up. Fucking Adam didn't even show up. Or he may have showed up like an hour and a half late or some shit. My mom like turned him away.
Oh,
like,
wow.
But like, I can't remember if that was him or not. Don't hold me to that. But one of those things happened. Either he just didn't come or he got turned away. This dude, Dan, showed up, who I wasn't even that tight with. And then this girl, Andrea, who I was dating at the time.
Wow.
Dating,
yeah.
But like at the time showed up. And when she showed up and just this other dude showed up and like, the clock started ticking, I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, I'm not going to keep this girl. Like, there's no fucking way. The next Friday at the skating rink broke right up with me. Like,
At the skating rink.
Just like the social standing had taken too much of a fucking punch in the face.
Yikes. But yeah, so that's why I consider
I'm fine now.
that's why I consider video games to be top 5 experiences in my life, because so many good things has happened with video games.
Yeah. So let me move on to notes. All right, so HasLab update.
How is it going?
Not well.
So I have not bought in yet.
So it's
maybe
it's down trending.
I haven't looked.
It's
I
like
haven't seen it. I'm sure I'll see a graph tonight.
Are you allowed to pull out?
So you are allowed to pull out.
And people are pulling out.
Robert D pulled out, so to speak.
Well, I'm still down for I'm just waiting to see. I never do these things. I did the G.I. Joe one, but that was trending so hard.
I wonder why people are pulling out, because there's no stakes on your part, right? If it doesn't go through, you don't lose money.
So the early bird was, if it had funded by, I think, Friday night, you got the unmasked Ghost Rider
so
guy.
You lost.
So that's lost immediately. I saw somebody post like, "Oh no, the $20 incentive is gone." But Mephisto is unlock at what?
1,200, I think.
12,000 maybe,
or 12,000.
Yeah.
12,000.
Bobby and numbers is fine.
Numbers, yeah. But like,
maybe everyone's on the fence like you.
Today.
That's what. If everyone who was on the fence got in, then it'll be good.
Well,
and
Bobby and I have a plan here.
Yeah.
So he's going to buy the figure.
Yeah.
You didn't go with that plan with him for Doink the Clown, though.
No, not yet.
Not yet. That's the. So you're saying there's a chance?
Actually, I have that now.
Oh, do you really?
But like the whole thing's going for like almost triple what I paid for.
Are you selling it?
I haven't decided yet.
Oh, if you decide not to, and you're trying to make some money back on that Doink.
So it's looking at it right now. It's got 35 days left, which is it ends on, I think, the 29th. Oh, what a day, the 29th. So many things going on that day. It's at 62%. So
62%.
yes, 5,600 people.
I think it could go either way, but I'll tell you, like the Mephisto is like that is a huge allure for me, but like I just can't justify it. I could pay somebody to make a custom Mephisto that much money. You know what I mean? That would be, you know.
So
make your own.
So I saw somebody bring up a good point about, and I don't want to quote anybody. I think I can narrow it down to a couple people who said it. So forgive me if you said this and I don't give you credit. As I'm tired of people trying to justify things being expensive because they have LEDs. LEDs are not expensive, and wires aren't either.
No, they're extremely cheap. Actually, they're pennies.
That is true, but like I don't know. I still don't find this all that crazy. Like, I think that like probably 250 to 275.
Yes,
it would have been fucking out of here. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but like I think it's high, but I don't think it's like I'm not clutching my pearls at the price, you know. And like I don't like what was the His tank?
His tank was $350.
Like I don't think the His tank is all that more sophisticated than this. And that's not to say that the His tank is bad, but it's to say that this isn't bad either.
I was trying to figure out a way to put this out, so I'm just going to talk about it here. You see this car right here? Mm-hmm. This is from the toy line Bratz, right?
The Bobby people took them down, right?
They have recently. This has been reissued. This is their 20th anniversary of Bratz, so they reissued this car, and I ordered one. It works with your 6 scale figures. It's a little big. It probably works better with like 7-inch figures. $37.54. It's got opening trunk, opening doors, opening hood, lights, and sound. And it's $40.
But that was what I was saying last week. Like I was saying,
yeah, he did say that last week,
and we weren't sure if there were comparable size vehicle and available at all.
Because you were saying
there's not. It's not. There's not
exact.
Vehicle.
That vehicle is not. Like I have my John Wick car I have that I made.
But we can make a comparison of something of similar.
That's what I'm doing.
A similar product being $50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying.
Right. So I'm justifying your point then.
Yeah.
With demonstration. So
yeah, I just I don't know, like I don't know what the materials are like. I don't know what the logistical runs are like, just to play, if this is like if this is their, you said their 3rd or 4th repaint of that.
It's their 20th anniversary. I mean, that car has.
So I mean, if they've
got their money off the mold, is that what you're getting
at? Yeah.
Because they got a higher volume.
But even when they were paying for the mold, it was still a $20-$30 thing.
And is it a piece of shit?
You know what? I've got some of their stuff, and it's really not. No, it's well done for what it is.
Right. Yeah. So I can't comment. I never fuck with it.
I don't want this. I have no stakes in the game, and I don't really like to see people fail, especially if people want this. I'm not trying to want it to fail, but I'm just interested to see it if it doesn't hit goal, what happens?
I think
what
it'll
do they
hit
do?
goal.
If it
I just
doesn't,
don't think many stretch
I
goals
think
are going
we've
to
already seen what happens.
I mean, did you see
No, we've seen both ways. We've seen where they cancel stuff, and we've seen where like Unicron got just pushed through.
Oh yeah,
right. That's what I'm saying.
That's true. That's true.
I'm interested to see if this would just get pushed through regardless.
So if this gets extended, my guess is it gets pushed through.
Okay.
And I'll be honest with you, my gut on that tells me if it gets pushed through, the mold's already made.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And I would go the same for fucking Unicron. That like the money had already been spent.
I think so I think they assumed they were going to succeed.
Correct.
Right. Because that's what I'm interested in seeing it and that aspect of it.
No, I think that's fair.
But I think the Cookie Monster, they weren't,
No,
they
and
didn't make
so it's 3 so far, right? It's the Cookie Monster, the Rancor, and the lightsaber.
the lightsaber?
You know,
I saw a little.
the
meme.
Rancor didn't make it.
No, I saw a little meme and said, "Come on, Robbie, you can sit with us." And it was Cookie Monster and the Rancor, and then the Robbie Reyes.
Rancor's riding on top of the car, and Cookie Monster's like hanging out the window, holding the lightsaber.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
All right, so the next note is Knock Knock. It's a trailer for a new M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I still haven't watched.
Looks pretty interesting.
I haven't either.
It's starring Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
It looks pretty interesting. Like,
The thing is,
who's the best actor, wrestler actor
ever?
The Rock.
I would say I would get that hard no.
Well,
he is the most prolific.
Let's list
That's a different question.
Let's list the wrestlers that have been actors:
Hulk
Hogan, Jesse Ventura, Ain't Got Time to Bleed, John Cena.
Yep.
Although his
I didn't
movies
see
are
him,
kind of
though.
hard to see. Yeah,
The Rock.
The Rock. I mean, look, there's a ton of them that have been in WWE presents The Marine 7, starring The Miz or Randy Orton.
And then Dave Bautista, right?
Dave Bautista has been in probably the most high-profile thing. He was in
Goldberg?
Guardians.
He's been in a couple movies.
Okay.
Yeah, he was Santa with muscles.
I think it might. The only reason why I bring it
he
up
was
is I think
Santa Claus.
it might be Bautista.
It might be Batista.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's good. He can't be
He's
good.
not bad.
No.
I mean, I did. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I lean towards The Rock, but I know you have your hatred.
It's the
for
same
him.
role. It's just the same. It's just the same role. Like that to me is like. That's the acting thing, right? It's like the same reason why I think that Denzel Washington's overrated. It's the same. I'm like I hate to say it, but like it's the same reason why I think like a lot of actors are overrated is because they just step right back into the same shoes.
I think after all said and done, it may be John Cena. Think about the range he did in Peacemaker.
Yeah,
He was pretty damn good.
He's pretty damn good, and he's funny, but he can be serious. He just hasn't done a ton of.
Housing Transformers.
Yeah, because I don't know if he's that different in Transformers than he is in. I
mean, what,
like if you look at this role that he's playing, Bautista's playing in this
Yeah.
movie versus Drax.
Yeah.
Because if he was just doing Drax, I'd be like, this fucking figures.
Right. Well,
You know?
he
No,
had-
I've seen him in
I
a few
see what you
things.
mean.
Yeah.
I've seen him in a few things. He was always
He
at
did
least
some
decent.
movie where he was like partnered with a little girl. He's a detective or some shit.
Yes.
And then he was in what was that? Zack Snyder did that really stylized zombie movie.
I still haven't seen that.
Yep.
It's shot in 8K, and it's like the aspect ratio is just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Not aspect ratio, the depth or the aperture.
I've seen him in
Aperture.
commercials. He's been in some like I don't know.
But anyway, this trailer ends with like a pretty. Have you seen the trailer?
No, because a lot of the time watching a trailer for his movies it ends up making you more confused than you were when you started, and that's probably the point.
Yeah.
like I still don't know what that movie Old's about.
Yeah,
It's not about.
I kind of want to watch it.
It ends with like so that there's this seemingly this couple goes to the woods with a daughter, and the daughter sort of sees this sort of man in the woods, and then they get a knock at the door, and they answer the door, and then these are the people that come in. I'm just going to turn it up a little bit because it is creepy.
We're called and are united by a common vision,
What's it called?
which has now become a command that we cannot ignore. The four of us are here to prevent the apocalypse.
I gotcha.
You know, and it's I don't know. It has
Oh,
my
he was
attention.
good in Blade Runner too.
Yeah, I've heard that. I haven't seen it.
I forgot.
Right? He was good in Blade Runner.
I forgot about.
I mean, he's only it was one scenario. He wasn't throughout the whole thing, but he was,
Speaking of Blade, I forgot about Triple H's turn in Blade 3.
oh yeah.
It was great.
And then Pins and Needles, the Hellraiser.
Yes, I'm looking forward to watching it.
Looks good.
Yeah, man.
Looks good.
Could give it a single shit.
That's the way to do Pinhead.
Yeah.
Without Doug, make it completely different.
I saw commentaries. It was actually my brother posted that he had never seen the original until like this past week, and he just thought it was cheesy.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, there's something about seeing it in its time. Like, I think the same could be said for a lot of those Freddy movies and shit, but they're so great.
They're all,
like they're great for not being great, for being great.
They're just campy at this point.
But there is like a pretty interesting story to that Freddy shit, with like the deal with the devil and all that kind of shit that gets made because the mother was like raped and then taken to the there is some they explore it like around the 5th movie or so.
Yeah, with an insane asylum.
Are you saying that franchise, Bobby, has some really good parts?
I'm saying it has some deep lore.
You're such a lore whore, Bobby. Gore lore.
Potential Black Panther toilers. Have you seen this at all? So
I know they re-released like the exact same wave with new paint apps and maybe some updated sculpts, but past that I'm not.
So for potential spoilers, I'm not sure, but 99, 98, 97, there is a Lego set coming that has Shuri seemingly in the Black Panther suit, called Black Panther.
So they've done that before, and oftentimes what happens is they say, here's all the information we're going to give you, make assumptions if you need to, and it ends up being stuff like that. Which, so, I'm gonna be honest with you, if that's what it's
the logical choice.
I'm not mad at it.
It's the logical choice.
I don't, unless they bring in like John Cena to be the Black Panther. I mean, or I don't know what they could do that would like irk me in the majority. I mean, nobody's ever going to be happy.
So I think what would irk me is that they found, because there was rumors that they were going to find a way to bring Killmonger back and make him
alternate universe Killmonger.
Yeah, and like I think the way to do this was either make Shuri or the dude that's the head of the Gorilla Clan. Yeah, like that dude. Like those were the two for me. Lastly, Vader retires. James Earl Jones, Darth Vader voice rights are signed over to the Lucasfilm and all.
I didn't know he had rights to the.
I didn't either,
because he hasn't done 100. He didn't do the animated. He didn't do. Clone Wars or Rebels, did he?
He signed the voice rights to his character Darth Vader over, according to Vanity Fair, over to Lucasfilm and Respeecher. The latter is a Ukrainian company that uses archival recordings in an AI program to create new dialogue with the voices of performers who have either aged out of their roles or have passed away.
Wow.
The method was recently used to recreate the role or the voice of young Luke Skywalker for the Book of Boba Fett, and to mimic Vader's voice, which Jones has now aged out of.
Man, they need to get their shit together on some faces
for his scenes in ObiWan. So they may have been faked in ObiWan.
So I was going to say,
it's Midjourney, but for voices.
Also, you don't need faces or voices anymore for actors.
Bro, shut up. I've seen
just fucking blanks, man.
I saw some shit people did, right? Like it said
you don't need people anymore.
Rappers if they were in the Disney universe, and it was like Kanye and Snoop Dogg, and I don't remember who else, but it was like, yep, that's exactly how they'd look if they were in the. But they had used Midjourney and
lastly, this may get us flagged, but I think it's worth it.
Can't wait to see.
I want to play a song. I do want to load up the Bobby Boogie Bop sound effect board for this. Because we're going to play the song all the way through.
Oh boy!
Wow.
This is a number, if you will, a little number,
a ditty
by Linda Paulson, who is running for Utah Senator.
Oh wow!
District 12, if you will. You guys ready?
I suppose.
Here we go.
So this is a commercial.
No.
Are there visuals too?
Oh my God.
Listen up right here. There's a new name on the ballot for the Senate this year. My name is Linda Paulson, Republican and awesome. Love God and family and the Constitution. I tried to get another conservative to run. Nobody could do it, so I'm getting it done. I'm pro-religious freedom, pro-life, pro-police, the right to bear arms and the right to free speech. I want less government control and regulation, want to stop and expose all political corruption, whereas integrity, morality, accountability. Government programs should lead to self-sufficiency and support traditional family as the fundamental unit of society. But in schools, they're pushing for new beliefs. And just to clarify, as a female adult, I know what a woman is. Oh, fuck, it's so good. I love this country. It's a blessing to be free, but freedom comes with responsibility. The Constitution needs to be protected, not changed or disregarded, but resurrected. If you share my values, if you like what I stand for, then give me your vote on the 8th of November. District 12 needs a choice. Let me be your voice, Linda Paulson. Linda Paulson for Senate.
Bobby, push the buttons.
Who is her target audience? Because people older than us are going to think that's ridiculous. We think it's ridiculous, and people younger than us are going to barely know what it is and think it's ridiculous.
I mean,
and how many people signed off on that is the thing.
Shit like this, why aliens won't visit us?
Hey, listen, if it's keeping them away, then maybe this is what we need. But she's an adult woman.
Yeah.
Definitely. Wow. Shout out to Utah.
I don't know what I just experienced. I don't know how I feel.
It definitely was not one of my top 5 experiences.
It might be one of mine.
How did you come across this? That's the question.
Phil put it in the notes.
The
Phil,
weird thing.
Why you?
Yeah.
Is this... I'm confused.
he put bars, question mark? Moving on to questions.
I have many questions.
Josh G. He says, what is the significance of saying get in tight on the head sculpt for Dennis? Where does that come from? So for those that watch the channel, Dennis is this dude. He's a German dude. He's got a podcast and Collector's Bay and all sorts of stuff that they do, like an entrepreneur as well. Like they've got their own shop and stuff. Works with Tim K. And Dennis is on Patreon, and when on the reviews when I was doing them, like a lot of like the action figure reviews, he was like, "Hey, would you mind getting a little tighter on the head sculpt just so we can get a good look at the face sculpt?" And I was like, "Sure, that's perfectly sound, So now whenever I was like, "All right, we can get in tight on the head sculpt for Dennis," like it just became a thing. All right, Rock Jesus. Also on the Patreon, what up? He says, this question is for Joe.
Yo, what?
What do you think of the new Bleach trailer for the 1,000-year Blood War arc, and what are you most excited for?
I'm not excited for it at all. I don't like Bleach. I fucking hate Bleach. I think it's an overrated piece of garbage.
My wife is looking forward to it. She's recently watched
one of those many things, one of those few things where I was a huge fan of, and it let me down so hard that I fucking hate it. Like,
Wow.
I thought it was like the first 2, maybe 3 arcs were really good, and then it got bad, and I hung on for years. I read chapter by chapter every week,
dude,
and never got better. And then at one point, I had to tell myself, "Cut your losses."
Hate to hear it.
So an
interesting collecting thing happened with my wife and Bleach. So,
this sounds like it's heading towards murder.
My wife does love Bleach. Like she loves like the smell of bleach, like bleaching the white towels and stuff. So she has had her first, I'm going to say, collector regret involving she's gone pretty hard on these like anime. I guess they're statues, but it's nothing. I think this was the most expensive piece she had ever bought, and she immediately regretted it.
After getting it? Or
after getting it. And it's this cat with these giant wings.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Because she has nowhere to put it because it's so you see the wingspan. Yeah, and it comes with stands for this. Like right now, it's sitting on our bar behind.
Did you show her your Falcon Hot Toys?
Well, I didn't, but it immediately came to mind. I'm like, that's why I don't know if you can display it. But she's like, I don't have anywhere to put this. I was like, well, either we find a case to put it in and mount it on the wall, or you send it back to BBTS.
Yeah.
If they'll take it back. I don't know if they will or not.
Yeah, the thing with those things is it's impressive. It looks great.
It looks great.
They will take it back, but you had to pay for shipping.
Okay. Well, I will let her know that because she was pretty upset about it. The figure seems to be about 6 scale.
So the 7th.
But the wings on it,
Japanese
make it
7th,
huge. Yeah.
Yeah. Module case.
That's
So yeah, Joe's not a Bleach fan. Hate to hear it.
I was a huge Bleach thing. I read that bitch for like 10 years.
Yeah. And then it let you down.
He is the guy who made it. Is a guy who likes and good at drawing cool shit and then decide to make a story from it.
Yeah.
And then he gets tired of it, and then he just draw more new shit and make up new shit as he goes along. And it's the same story over and over again. If you really look at it, my guy, it's the same story, every arc, over and over again. And it just gets progressively worse. And he ends up being one of everything.
Right.
He's part, like, I don't know. Imagine he is part in the Marvel universe. He's part God, part Atlantean, part mutant, part
Super soldier.
part super soldier, part fucking.
Oh, is it part vampire?
What's the Mist people? The
Inhumans?
Yeah, he's part of that too. He's part. You find he's part of every fucking thing.
Mike Honcho writes in and says, Yo Ragers, question specifically for Joe because of his profession. Go ahead and skip it if he's not in. Not seeking medical advice, but feeling a little bewildered and would like Joe's expertise on this matter. Was recently in a pharmacy at a major drugstore chain where I used to enjoy 25-cent ice cream cones as a youth. Not sure if that was a West Coast thing.
No, we have fountains here.
As I was at the pharmacy counter asking a question about an over-the-counter drug interaction to the 9.5-month pregnant Asian pharmacist, I felt something hard and heavy hit me in the back of my head. I turned around to see a bottle of supplements at my feet rolling away to my right, though it wasn't apparent who threw it. I felt the back of my scalp and felt wetness on top of the stinging pain. So I looked back at the pharmacist, searching for a reaction from her to know how bad it was. She told me that the wound was super fish oil. Joe, super fish oil. By the way, chocolate malted crunch was the best flavor. It's a fact based in science.
Why am I here? Is this what my life come to at fucking 40 years old?
Andrew M. writes in. He says, "What's up, Wizard Sleeves?" Joe's collection was brought up recently about how abundance of the naked figures he had in one display was too much visually for Bobby, and it made me think of my own thoughts on displaying figures I have in a very similar manner. The main figure line I'm collecting actively is a 2 to 4 inch tall independent toy line called Glyos.
Yep.
Which is a group of figures made up of multiple artists with interchangeable parts. Generally, when you buy a new release from one seller, it's the same figure type in different color ways. Here's some pics of some figures of the 3 types I'm collecting for reference. These little fellas here.
I want to see.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Interesting.
Line. That concept, I guess, is a better way to put it.
My plan when I got them into a proper display space was to put them on a 3 separate large stadium risers in a display space. But with their size, I feel like it may get too busy to tell them apart, and I don't want to fully obscure a lot of their colorways from view with risers. I've also considered building a set of shallow shelves around my workroom, around head height, to stand them shoulder to shoulder around the room. I currently have about 40 of these with an ongoing collection. I'd love any advice or technique for displaying multiple figures of the same style, including what's the best way to display them. Also, in talking about Alabama barbecue, Chris should check out the Meat Boss. If he's ever in Mobile, Alabama.
That's not Alabama.
I'm a diehard South Carolina mustard-based barbecue guy, but that place is the truth. Thanks for the advice.
Mobile is in Florida.
Before we get to the display part, which we'll get to, did you know they opened the Chaps in Frederick?
What's the chap?
Yes, I knew that. We've talked about it.
What's a chap?
Chip beef.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I did not know that.
I have
It's
to
down
go
there
there. I just
past-
remember I have to go there.
I'm not a big
Past
chip
Past the Regal on that.
Yeah.
I got you.
But it's hard with many items of the same size and shape.
Yep.
Is it hard
especially when that size is little.
So my suggestion is
they're gonna blend in.
Well, that's the thing. You want to show off. Let's just put it in our reality here. Let's say you've been collecting the New Age Optimus Prime repaints, right? They're about the same size, I'd imagine. And you want to display them. I think the best way to display those is just standing statically in a row to show off the colors.
I also think those little baseball bat.
I was thinking that too.
Display cases from Michaels,
and they make those that are lit now as well. They come lit.
Nice, that's the way to do it, in my opinion. Is because they look sharp, they look clean, they look like professional. Like I'm a big fan for little figures,
for little things.
But check Wicked Bricks. They make stands for other things now, but they started making stands for Lego minifigs and for now for pops and other shit too. So like that, they made those display stands specifically for figures of that size. So check them out.
Yeah, I mean, I make a good point because those cases got real popular because people were putting their pops in them loose.
Yep.
Which is essentially, I mean,
crazy.
if you think about pops, it's the exact same thing the majority of the time, just painted different.
Next one is from Vex Supreme. He says, "Great show, Nerd Ragers. Nerd Rage After Dark is lit."
It literally.
Bobby, great job with the Game of Thrones nicknames and calculator. I don't even remember the calculator part.
Thronies is still the best.
Chris needs to bring back that slide whistle. Joe, open up that anime block more. All in all, great show. Are there words that you use that are just in your vocabulary, but when you use it, people look at you like, what? For about 20 years, I've been using the word girt. Definition, a gut that holds up a skirt, not her hips. Example, damn girl, you got to lift up your girt to get that.
I use gunt.
Really?
The gut cunt. Yeah.
Really?
You ever heard that before?
That's a fupa.
Fupa's another one. Probably mostly the wrestling shit I say. That, like, the word gimmick in wrestling can mean about 42 different things. So if I say, hey, did you get the gimmick about the gimmick with the picture of my gimmick in it?
I think that sometimes when I say...
Like Smurf?
When I'm
Smurf?
Smurf. When I'm talking to people and saying that a girl was outside, they look at me like, well, I mean, what's wrong with going outside? But I don't think there's anything necessarily. There are a couple words, I can't think of them off the top of my head right now, that I don't really know if it's the right word to use or not. It just sounds like the right word, and I just kind of try to slip it in there, and I try to say it fucked up enough. Oh, here's a couple. So respectively and respectfully. I fuck those up all the time. Affect and affect, which I've talked about here before, and Paul C. tried to fix me. Whimsical. Whimsical, I know is the word, but sometimes when I get to that word whimsical, I want to whimsical. Like I just kind of stumble my way through it. So they'd be like, "You say whimsical?" That's exactly what
I'm trying to think of a time where I would ever need to say that word.
Dude, I
probably on here mostly.
Yeah, I use it because I fell in love with it when I heard Gary Oldman say it in The Professional when she's armed to the teeth with the fucking pizza in the bathroom and he stumbles across her and he's like what is it? Chinese? Thai? Maybe? No. Let me guess. Italian food. And then he sees all the fucking guns she has and he's like, death is whimsical today. But I've used it ever since, but I'm not sure if I'm saying it properly or not.
I used complacent wrong till my mid-30s.
Really?
Yeah. Because complacent sounds like complaining, right?
Yeah.
So that's not what that word means.
No.
Vex also asked for us to take a Nerd Rage After Dark picture, so we will do that next.
Oh yeah,
time.
with the
lighting.
I think we got late. It was 11:30 at night, and I was like, I need to eat.
Yeah. Paul C says, let's say that you had to take a short road trip with someone that you had never met, but is tied to your family somehow.
Oh.
For example, let's say you had to pick up a sibling's new fiance from the airport and drive them 4 hours to meet up with everybody of some sort of family reunion.
I'm out.
He said the relationship here is important as it is not someone you will interact with frequently, but is tied or will be tied to your family moving forward. You have told them multiple times that they get to choose the music for the trip, or as the kids are saying, they get the aux. You have tried 5 different times and they still have politely declined and said that you can play whatever you want. What music are you playing for the trip? Do you say to yourself, well, he said whatever I want, so I'm playing some obscure shit that he's never heard of? Or do you play middle of the road, commonly accepted, non-offensive music? Or do you still try to size him up and play different stuff that you think he'll like?
Bobby's gonna play Dipset.
So no, I won't.
I would probably go with some of what I would usually listen to and ask for their feedback and then maybe change it as...
Yeah, so I already know.
Or just say, put on your fucking headphones, you nerd.
No, I'll immediately say I've loved them to choose. The problem is I don't have a go-to middle of the road music.
Probably what your cleaning playlist,
like the pop music.
Yeah,
but I feel like that would be weird.
And it also depends the gender of this person.
Correct. So I feel like I would honestly not play it. I've gotten a bad rep in some regard over the years that I like to come in and monopolize somebody's music situation.
I don't think so.
But yeah, it's
I
not
don't
true
think
at
that's the
all.
case.
Like, it makes me super uncomfortable. I don't like to do it. Like, I know what I like. I know what I want to hear. I know that's not what everybody wants to hear. So, like, I'm actually pretty weird about it. So, like, I wouldn't play it. I'd be like, you know what? I got a little bit of a headache. You mind if we just not play? Like, I would
Ride in silence?
No, but I would. I'm a talker, so I would.
Yeah, okay.
You know, and especially if it's my family, I'd be like, look, how the fuck did you get mixed up with these motherfuckers, man? And like, all right, what's your take on my mom? Is she crazy or is it just me? You know, like, or whatever the case. You know, I would play it that way.
I'll play what I usually play, which is I'll put on Twitch or YouTube for tutorials or creepypastas, and they can listen to or not. Like, if someone said they don't give a fuck, I'm doing whatever I want.
That's fair.
I mean, giving somebody like
And it's not
5
music,
chances
yeah.
to play, like, you obviously don't care.
Yeah.
About,
Or they're too polite to say something.
Correct. And like, I'm not going to put on drill music and then like them just look at me like, you know, where it's like, yeah, I know, I get it. Like,
what if you put on there's like, do you have any Turkish? Do you have any Turkish drill?
yeah,
Let's go.
The answer is yes.
You might have
The
just
answer is yes.
Are we best friends?
Yeah.
Did we just become best friends?
Is it Asian drill, bro?
Yeah, there's Japanese drill. It's awful, but there is some of it.
Wow.
What
Yeah.
makes it awful?
It's just like it's Sonics. Like, I'll be honest with you, there's a very few drill artists, and when I say drill, that word is kind of used very abstractly these days. But I mean, like, it has that specific sound that the UK folks created and the New York folks implemented. The thing about it is, like, there are a handful of them that can make really good songs. Pop Smoke is probably the best example. That's why his trajectory was different than everybody else's, because he was really trying to make songs. A large majority of this shit is just rapping with no real idea of structure, of verse length. It is punk rock. There are no rules because they don't know what they're doing, you know? But there are a handful of exceptions. 22 Gs, Fabio Foreign, Pop Smoke, there's a few. But like, I forget how I got there from here.
Japanese drill.
Japanese drill music.
So, by and large, all I need from this music is the music to be good.
Okay.
And if
So the music's not good.
the production, and good is relative, but good to my ears.
Sure.
And like, as long as that's good, I can kind of get on board with the artist, even if I don't respond to them immediately, eventually. But the beats, I don't like the beats mainly. Like, is what it comes down to. Long way to say that, I guess. All right. So this is from Seabass. He has a hell of an email here. What up, Nerd Rage? He said, what up, gentlemen? Trying to keep it classy after Nerd Rage After Dark. Seabass here from the cold, desolate land of Hoth, better known as Canada. I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
America's hat.
Yes, America.
Or as Robin Williams said, a loft apartment over a great big party. After listening to Nerd Rage After Dark, a good number episode to have, with the sexy intro, by the way, being 369.
Yes.
I feel like I have to chime in on a few things. Bobby, please cock that gun. You got it, homeboy. Oh, that's the wrong one. I don't have. I'll give you the. That's my Joe Biden one. I'm just gonna give you the gunshot. The cocking is on the other ones. Okay. Mr. Pinkerton wants some smoke. I hear. The fact that you want to name your things a fancy French name for stairs without even doing a simple Google Translate to figure out how to pronounce, you hack. You said escalier. It's escalier.
How many staircases have you bought there, Seabass? I'm just curious, because I can call it whatever the fuck I want.
Escalier. Escalier sounds nicer, though, to be fair.
It's escalier, because that's how my wife told me to say.
And it's called a croissant sandwich.
That's right. I'm going to go get the tour of Italy. It's the closest thing to Italian food we can find around here.
That one hurts, too.
At the garden.
I don't know.
First Geppetto, now this.
Escalators, I was at.
Escalators.
Yeah, they're pretty sick. Anyways, all kidding aside, Nerd Rage is a huge part of my week, as well as all your own independent media, whether it be YouTube, Twitch, Patreon, etc. I appreciate what you all do, and I'm sure many listeners do. A couple short bullet points I wanted to mention. Bobby, you do too much. You keep saying, I hope you guys cut me some slack. Bobby, you need to cut Bobby some slack. Look at other YouTube content creators and shake my head saying, how do they keep a fan base with such sporadic uploads? You're doing fantastic work. Well, thank you. Chris, your diorama stuff is fucking next level. Always in awe of your reveals on Crashbox, plus your sensibilities for media are similar to my own. So it's a good barometer for things I may enjoy watching.
Nice.
Last but not least, Uncle Dolphin, I also do not enjoy salted caramel anything. So you're not alone there. You have inspired me to ship up and shape out. So in eating healthier and working out, I've lost 30 pounds in the last 4 months, bringing me back to my 170-pound bad self that I was in my 20s.
Fuck yeah.
Now 40, bit long in the teeth myself. Sorry, I'm realizing this is getting long. Just want to finish up with you guys are the best. Thank you all for everything you do. Well, thank you.
Hell yeah,
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that. That's nice.
All right. And then the next one is from Yaz.
That's birth control.
Yaz says, voice. She says, voice of the thronies.
Oh, here we go.
Hi, guys. Just writing in to second Bobby's thoughts on getting Joe to watch or discuss Game of Thrones.
You guys didn't talk about Game of Thrones this week.
Oh, I am. I did not see last night's episode.
I have not either.
I
I
saw
that's why I
the
didn't
one
talk about it.
before
Okay.
that with the wedding or like the pre love where it's headed, like because that was a slow episode, but it like I even as I was watching it, I was like, they haven't had one of these like build up episodes yet. It's pretty much been like right to the shit. And I think it was probably necessary. And I think all that drama that went down at the end is going to pay out for the next couple. I think.
Yeah, my plan was to have watched that when we recorded it this afternoon, but obviously that didn't work out for me. So we'll have it for next week or later this week or whatever.
Yeah, he said, I've included these links so that you may show it to Joe in a bit to at least expedite the process. The first and second links are really spoilery to the House of the Dragons, but I know Bobby loves spoilers. The second link, spoiler, starts at minute 52. The third link is Daenerys speaking High Valyrian, and we all know that Joe loves subtitles. Every season of the Game of Thrones Blu-ray releases has lore videos to flush out the series, which cuts a lot of crap from the books. They're easily found on YouTube. Also, no pressure on Joe, by the way, but you guys never agree on any shows discussed for except maybe Star Wars. So as an avid listener, one can only hope. Anywho, love what you guys been doing from the first right up to the current phase of Nerd Rage. You guys mean a lot, and thank you. Also, another show for the guys to try out, Yellowstone, stars Kevin Costner, or its spinoff, 1883. One is set in the present, the other in the Wild West. Cue up the banjo. I know Chris and Joe would enjoy this. Bobby might enjoy 1883.
You know, I've
Kevin Costner.
so many people I know are watching that show.
Yeah, me too.
Almost.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It actually, I think
What is it about?
It's about these ranch.
It's like Goodfellas, but cattle ranchers.
Yeah, with some Dallas thrown in there. And I think the strength of that show is helping keep Paramount Plus alive because they moved it over there. And like that 1883 was a prequel, which had Tim McGraw and Faith Hill in the lead.
Oh, I know
and
those
it
names.
was only available through their streaming.
It's part
service.
of this time period with Chris Gaines.
Yeah, Chris Gaines. There you go.
The next one is from.
Faith Hill so hot?
I haven't checked in lately.
The next one is from Blaster. It's just this bit. Blaster writes in and says, is this the third or fourth email you get from me in the span of a single episode? We got a problem here. Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it is all this. Okay, let me try to get all this in, so to speak. He says, actually, I forgot.
Where do you start?
No sound effect. Yeah, it's hard to make sense of this droid fiasco you got going on here, Blaster.
Do you need a droid life to translate?
I was actually blaming the studio qualities that Dante's on, or not quality, but the issues on
droid.
I was like, how many droids are in this house? No sound effects this time, unfortunately. P.S. Where the fuck is my thought of the week intro? Because I'm writing this kind of fly. Yeah, I need to create a whole new board. I just haven't had time. Super late to the party, but I kind of wanted to drop my 2 cents on the game, disc, and streaming convos.
Here we go.
Dude, I can't. Blaster, I'm sorry, dude. I can't read all this. But he definitely feels a way about it. You're welcome to hit him up about it. Only one question for Bobby this time. Just since this is incoming, Fans Toys Hoist, how do you feel about the head and the missile pod attached on the top? I think it's fucking stupid, and I'm very glad they include an additional separate piece on a separate head. Keep it real. Stay gold, you raging nerds and big anime titties. Yeah, I'm bringing the sign-off back, motherfucker. Scratch that. I found one that you could use. So, I think it's fine. Look, here's the thing. I don't...
We're going to talk about Transformers in a bit.
Yeah, so I don't...
Tell me about it.
I have Chugs and Detolfs.
Yeah, that's just disgusting.
I love it. I fucking love it. I play
There's
with
more
it.
and more. There's more and more.
I don't...
Are there? I didn't come by.
I don't think that... I don't think there's another company that makes G1 looking masterpiece Transformers as good as Fans Toys. Like, end of statement. So like, I'm more okay with them taking liberties. I prefer Fans Toys take on these characters more than I prefer the G1 look of these characters.
Which is what
I think
the car's doing.
Yeah, I think that what was it? Quake Wave. I think Quake Wave looks better than Soundwave.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So like the more experimental
than Shockwave?
I'm sorry. Yes, Shockwave.
Okay.
The more experimental they get, the more I prefer them. But I don't really pay a whole lot of attention. Like I'm in. You know, like I'm in. I'm in on whatever Fans Toys makes. I'm in. So like until further notice. So like I don't even really like go through it with a fine-tooth comb.
You're getting it regardless?
I'm getting it. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, do you find that to be an issue though?
What's that? The Fans Toys?
That you've gotten to the point where you're just in and you no longer necessarily care?
Not yet. The moment that I find it to be an issue, that's when I'll start.
Yeah, because right now you're just saying like, yeah, these are just $200 things I'm buying because I'm going to buy them because that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Like, and at the same time saying I'm not going to go through with a fine-tooth comb is like that's an interesting take on something.
It's a level of trust, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that like I've been vocal about like a lot of the issues that I've had with Fans Toys, but none of those issues have been significant enough for me to not be a fan in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? It's just been like, you know, people misunderstand that because people don't think that you can like something and also be critical of it.
Yeah.
You know, but like one of my big issues with them was how they've fallen so far behind the 8-ball in articulation, like so far behind the 8-ball, and people denied it left and right until I did a whole video going through every single Fans Toys figure and all of their articulation points, showing just how bad it has gotten. But like, I say that to say this, it still looks, they don't have any competition. You know, I think some people consider Takara to be their competition, but I don't, because I don't think Takara makes anything worth talking about anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
I haven't heard about them in a minute. What have they done lately?
They got a Trailbreaker coming. They're working on that train set that looks like a like a bloody train wreck. Am I right, Joe? But like it's just they just aren't.
They're also not as prolific, right?
No, they're not as prolific, and the problem is that like they just. So here's an example, right? KFC, X-Transbots, whatever you want to call them. I like them. I'm kind of in for any kind of obscure characters that they would do that somebody else is not going to do. To you know. But they have an Ultra Magnus coming, right?
Do they? Mm-hmm. I'm interested. I like the Ultra Magnus.
And it looked, in the promotional pictures, rollout pictures, looked fantastic. And I'm not a big swap out guy, but I was like, I might swap this one out.
For your MP?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it didn't, to be fair, the MP had issues, you know, like,
but flap and all that good stuff.
And like the waist. And, yeah, exactly. So like, I pre-ordered it, but then the pictures hit of it in hand, and it's still great, but the arms are long as hell. You know? Arms. Yeah. And I was just like, man, like X-Transbots doesn't have that standing with me where I would just swap out because I can trust them that everything else is going to be in tune. You know what I mean? Because I can, you know, you could pose them, long arms problem goes away.
Yes.
You know, but now I bought this thing with long arms. It might also fall apart. It might also have pins that drop out. It might also have paint scratch. You know, it might have all these other issues that are related to that company that I don't often have with Fans Toys.
Yeah, like if Fans Toys, the Ultra Magnus is just automatic, like without a second look.
Correct. So here's a couple of things.
He's fucking my wife's mouth.
I think he's sent some of these before.
Hello. Fucking Robert D.
Yeah. That's it. Couple more. We'll go through. Oh, some Mario stuff. I do like this sound.
Oh yeah.
And this one. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then he's got a couple more. So let me just. These are not as lengthy. So he said, actually, I forgot. Lucky you, Joe. I've got a question for you. Back at Smile Fest about a month or so back, Aniplex revealed that they had a Buzz Mode 1/12 Figuart scale figure of Kamina in the works. Thoughts from the resident Gurren Lagann nut? He said, personally, I hope they go fucking town with it and do at least him, Yoko, Simon, and Viral. They're doing that with Demon Slayer, so why not do it with Gurren Lagann?
I mean, I love to depend on the price point because Gurren Lagann stuff tends to be overpriced because of like how I think it must be licensing and how few things are made. I have passed on some Gurren Lagann stuff before, but I did recently get, I don't remember what company it is. I think it's a good smallest company, but I set up the three, Kamina, Yoko, and Simone.
So I said Simon.
Huh?
I said Simon.
I know you did. I didn't buy the correct use. I was just Kamina.
Simone says. Okay, but it's not Kamina?
It's Kamina, but that's close enough.
Oh, Kamina Rider.
There's multiple layers to that.
Kamina Harris.
What if, though?
What planet were the clones made on?
Oh, dude, remember when Django came from Kamina
With the vice president? Yeah. It was pretty wild. It was wild times.
But yeah, I'll look into it for sure. Like I'm always interested in Gurren Lagann stuff.
And then he says, if this is the third or fourth email you get from me in the spam of single question, we got a problem here. I think it is. He said, by the way, I forgot to include the image of the reveal, so I asked Joe about, so he included that. Also, RIP to the end of an era. Gonna miss James Earl Jones voicing Vader. Now to cap off, seems Bobby's got a Mario fixation with sounds. Shout out to the unrelated real life Bobby's friend Mario, by the way. Yeah, rest in peace, Rio. Dude, a quick funny story about Rio, buddy of mine. When he passed, just to show you how fucked up my friend group is, I don't know if I've ever told this story before, but he had a whole bunch of like razor bumps on the back of his head, and one in particular had like been infected. It looked like a little small continent on the back of his head, you know, and it was unsightly for sure. When he had passed, he wasn't even, you know, he was cremated, but figuratively, he wasn't even in the ground yet. So I was like, what was it? You know, because we were with him a lot of a couple of the last moments, and you know, they were like, well, what happened? Like, you know, anything when you went to visit him? Was there anything? And my buddy Troy said, yeah. He said, but after he had passed, the doctor came out, and it was just Mario's mom there and me, and the doctor said, unfortunately, we weren't able to save him, but we were able to save these bumps on the back of his head, and like gave him this hand.
God damn.
What a mess. What a mess.
All right. Garinger. He's got a lengthy one as well, but I am going to read it. He said, hey guys, it's been a while since I've written in. Sorry for the long one, so to speak. With all the talk about certain movies and shows in the past several weeks, I thought I would chime in. First off, The Rings of Power. So I'm a pretty big Lord of the Rings nerd. I have seen the movies and read the books more times than I could possibly count.
Wow, you're never off time here.
Theatrical extended versions of movies and the animated, blah, blah, blah. We said, what I don't understand about the show is why so many people hate it. Talking about how much the show has changed from the book, I don't get it. Like, half these people, have these people ever watched the Lord of the Rings movies or the Hobbit movies? There are so many changes in those movies, from things being added in, taken out, or completely altered. Entire plot points were left out due to time restraints, like the origin of Merry's dagger, cut out completely. People keep saying that events of the show did not happen in the Silmarillion. Well, that's because Amazon does not own the rights to that book and are writing off of just the appendices from Return of the King, which would leave a lot of gray area for them to fill in. As much as I love Tolkien's work, his books are unfilmable if left unchanged. I, for one, am loving the show. Dude, I think that's a solid point.
I think it's, yeah, exactly. Those books are almost unreadable, so like definitely unfilmable.
Then he says, this is a long one, pray. And not to Jesus.
Yes.
Bobby, I'm sorry, but I think you are wrong on this one.
Again.
I get the want to expand the lore of the Predators, but they have tried that to the point of almost ruining the franchise. So let's run it down. Predator, good introduction. The rules in the world. Predator 2 expands the lore a bit. You should have capitalized bit. And let the viewers know that they hunt other things, including xenomorphs. Okay, cool. Next movie's AVP, AVPR. These both expanded the lore, showed new stories of the Predators, and even showing the homeworld, even if briefly. Also show us how they can clean up their messes and that they were the ones that and it hurt the franchise. He said, I enjoyed them in about the same way I enjoyed King Kong vs. Godzilla or porn.
Yes.
You do not watch them for the plot or the acting. You skip to the action, turn your brain off, and enjoy. Then we get Predators, which most people liked, expanded the lore more and introduced a new breed of predator and talked about a war between two factions. Okay, neat. But how did they follow that up? With The Predator, which is not only the worst movie of the franchise, but one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Right up there with Transformers 4 and 5.
It's not good.
Why is it so bad? Because they tried to expand the lore to a point it hurts it all. Talking about how they hunt to gain DNA from the victims to alter their DNA to make them a better hunter, which doesn't even make any sense. If you want to alter the DNA to improve yourself, you don't use the animals you hunt to kill with little effort. I did not want to watch Prey at all because I decided to give it because of it. But finally, I decided to give it a chance. Going back to the basics is what it needed to fix the issues of the last 4 movies. Take a breath and go back to what people liked about the movies. Since every time it goes outside of that, it fucks it up. Now moving forward, we can try to expand it again slowly, like in Predator 2. Don't just jump into some stupid ass robotic predator hunter suit. Well, first of all, you don't disagree with me because I said that. I said exactly that. I said if this is a relaunch point and it gets better from here, then fine. But if it doesn't, we have to hold this accountable. And I'm not giving this any credit until the work is done on the back end. Firstly. Secondly, you just agreed with me earlier when you were talking about something. It was the anime that you're Bleach.
Bleach, yeah.
And you're like, they're just telling the same story over and over again. And like, but that's my issue with Prey. And like, it's not that Prey is bad in and of itself. It's just that I think largely, like, because he even said like the last 4 movies brought it down, but the Predators didn't bring it, or Predators didn't bring it down, and that expanded the lore. Mm-hmm. Like, the thing is like, I think there are 2, and this is not to say Garringer knows I love him, but like, there are largely 2 end of the swings of the pendulum when it comes to fans. And one is people that never want it to change.
Yes.
And one are people that want to see change.
Okay.
You know, and I am in the latter. But I know that when it comes to fans, it often pisses them off. So, like, I like The Last Jedi. I like The Last Jedi more than I like Force Awakens because The Force Awakens is doing the same thing and The Last Jedi is doing new things. But I like Force Awakens more because of The Last Jedi. So, if I get a Last Jedi, if I get a Last Predator, that's the title. If I get the Last Predator, then I'll give Prey all the props in the world. But I got to see the work. I got to see the work first. And this on its own is just, I'm not any, like, and the other thing that he said, he's not talking about this movie in particular, although I think that this movie applies, is like just turn your brain off and I don't do that ever. I'm just not that guy.
That's when fun romping ages.
Yeah. I'm just not that guy.
I have something to say.
Please.
I pray that we're done talking about this. Like to a point where I want to put this on moratorium until we see what else they're going to do. Because I don't know what else we can possibly say about this. We have argument, counter argument.
Yeah.
I mean, people still write in about fucking Last Jedi. So let's put that shit on moratorium too.
Yeah. Like, you know, like, and I haven't seen The Predator.
Don't.
Yeah.
I haven't either. I'm not
telling
going
you.
to.
I'm going to.
Listen, after you read Coruscant Nights, then you're allowed to watch The Predator, okay?
Fair.
After
then
you finish The Expanse, you can watch The Predator.
And he said, lastly, She-Hulk. I just don't get it, guys. This is, in my opinion, one of the greatest shows ever written. A beautiful piece of... I'm just fucking with you. The show is beyond stupid, and I refuse to watch that garbage. Fuck you, Disney, for everything since Endgame has been utter trash.
How is it being received in Gen Pop?
I haven't heard anybody talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I truthfully, I don't hang around a bunch of Gen Pop people.
So I'll tell you, this is an interesting thing about Gen Pop and Marvel. That's like... I am quite familiar with Gen Pop due to my 9 to 5. And I remember being in Gen Pop and telling people like, man, I'm excited because this movie Iron Man is getting ready to come out, or this movie Captain America is getting ready to come out. And they were like, oh, you're going to get him on your bed sheets, dork. You know, like I remember it, right?
Yep.
And then I remember a few years go by and the same motherfuckers are now like, dude, so when Thanos looked at the one gem different, does that mean that one is the mind gem? And I'm like, well, so here's the thing about it, and then bringing it down, and then they're like, them hitting me up like, dude, you know, Endgame 2 weeks, you know, whatever, right? The same people now. I'm like, dude, like, what do you think? Like, just to make conversation, if I bump into them, I'm like, hey, what'd you think of, you know, Doctor Strange 2 or Thor 4? But I haven't seen that one, man. I saw WandaVision and I saw Spider-Man. Was there a Spider-Man movie? It had a bunch of Spider-Man in it. Yeah, I saw that one. That's all I've seen recently. Like nobody, like that. And I can only speak for my swath of the public.
Yeah,
nobody's into it anymore.
Well, here's the problem.
Everybody, even the casuals, have become casual.
Here's the problem, and nobody realized they were doing it. They blew their load. And now they're just trying to mop up a little bit. They blew their load with Endgame and Infinity War. I mean,
yeah, but I think there was still like they've been mopping up for 2 years.
I know.
That's the
It's a
problem.
big mopping job.
Yeah, but it didn't have to be.
It didn't have to be. And now they're just literally trying to dig their way out. I mean,
I think so
and
too.
we'll find
But
out.
I don't
with Black Panther
see-
too, like you said. I think that's very true.
do they watch these episodes of She-Hulk before they publish
I
them?
have no fucking
Or is it like
idea.
Nerd Rage, just record and press go?
I just drop it.
That's a new
Every once in a
strategy.
while.
That's a new
Every once in a
strategy.
while, I make
Because
some cuts
look, the CGI
to protect the guilty.
The CGI is not good. I think it's possibly gotten worse. Like,
Yeah, it certainly hasn't gotten. She looks so like I mean I know everybody makes the comparison, but Shrek does look better.
yeah. I feel bad for the actress who plays her because it's not her fault.
No,
that
not
this
at
is
all. Not at
but
all.
she's going to get shit for the rest
She's
of her
talented.
life.
She's
for
a
this.
talented actress.
I don't know what else she's done.
But I mean, just in this, she's
Yeah.
like she's doing. I have 100% faith that she's doing exactly what they're telling her to do, exactly how they want it done.
I am impressed that they were able to low key sneak Michael Jackson in as her assistant, and nobody.
I'm not sure if I even noticed.
You haven't noticed the girl that's like her assistant that literally looks like Michael Jackson. Like she's pale faced with that nose, and
Yeah, I haven't made that connection necessarily.
oh, you'll see it next time you watch.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right, so we got one from Lee. He says, Lee here, just so my first name isn't used. Oh, gotcha. Covered, Lee. Hope it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Hope everyone is doing well. This is a question I've been meaning to send a while back when Bobby is saying he really likes the album Yeezus by Kanye West. Bobby, I was wondering if you have ever heard of the group Death Grips. As I really enjoyed both Kanye West and Death Grips, I found that Yeezus really reminded me of Death Grips style with the whole industrial rap vibe. There's no denying that My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is a work of art, but I do enjoy and appreciate the departure and experimental aspect of Yeezus as an album a good bit more. If you haven't listened to Death Grips before and enjoy Yeezus, then I'm recommending you give them a shot. I absolutely 100% will. I'll put it in my nerd week for next week. He says, another thing, to those who have the extra cash and aren't on the $10 tier of Patreon, I highly recommend you give it a shot. And another thing, while I feel my interests and ideals are more aligned with Bobby's views, I do find myself loving to hear the perspective of Joe and Chris and what they bring to the table. They have some really cool and relatable interests. Much love, Lee.
Nice. I mean, that's
thanks,
the
Lee.
point of having one of the points of having this table.
Yeah, and I'll check it out.
Not to dick ride Bobby.
No. I mean, dude, every time, every time something comes out, I can already, and I watch it, I'm already like, oh, I know where this is gonna fucking head. Oh, this lowbrow shit, they're gonna love it.
It's not all Coppola masterpieces, Bobby.
Well, I was surprised, honestly. Like Andor, I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. Because I could see you saying like you're like the first two episodes are really slow. I was like, he might think this whole thing is too slow. Where I was kind of enjoying
I was of two minds. I was really gonna like it, and/or hate it.
Shane G writes in and says, well.
Oh, Shane G, what have you done now?
Good morning, Ragers. It's been a few weeks since my last write-in. My wife went through a major surgery, and I've been home with her, helping her recover. I'm glad to hear that she is recovering. Great thing is she's doing amazing. Love to hear it. And so in my time being home, I've decided to revisit MCU starting at Endgame. And for me, I finally figured out where it all started going off the rails in my head. It was one scene in Endgame that completely took me out of the movie. In the scene where the characters travel back to New York during the original Avengers movie, and Smart Hulk has to pretend to be Angry Hulk and go on a rampage.
I thought that was great.
And I remember so clearly because this time when I watched the movie, I had the same feeling and reaction that I first watched. I rolled my eyes, gave a little groan, and stopped paying attention. I couldn't tell you anything that happens in that movie after that scene until the final battle. It's at that point it all became clear to me. The Marvel humor isn't funny anymore. And when you strip away the funny, there's not much left underneath to chew on in all these shows and movies that have come along since Endgame. It's just hollow to me. It's there because it has to be there. Whether it's good or not, it's there for the sake of content, in my opinion. And then to cap it all off, I sat through Thor 4. And 7 years ago, as I like to say. I'm sorry, but I've never wished a pair of goats would have died more after watching this. I don't condone violence on animals, but in this case, I'll do it my damn self. I give Natalie Portman and Christian Bale their credit. They played their parts well.
I mean, they're great actors.
But all the jokes, useless and unfunny. Thor is a doofus, and that movie sucks. And my 2 cents on my 2 cents on the matter. Could have written more, but this is already too damn long. Later, Shane G. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. I agree on.
Yeah, that's a great point. I definitely understand that point of view. I haven't. I'd be interested to see, Shane, if you watched Doctor Strange in there as well. Some of the TV shows. What your
it sounds like
pattern was.
It sounded like
he sounded like he watched everything. He said he started with Endgame, so I assume he watched everything else after.
If there was one that I would revisit, it would be WandaVision, because I do think that show is going to be super important to everything when it's all said and done.
Yeah, like I like the show. I'm not groaning because of the show.
No, not because the show is good or bad. Just because of what happens in that show.
The concepts.
I think I need to brush up.
Yeah, I'm not groaning because of that. I'm groaning because of Doctor Strange 2. I mean that's the one that broke me. Like after I enjoyed Endgame. I enjoyed Endgame more than you did.
Yes,
for sure. Like I was still in, and I thought it was good. It could have been better, different, I guess. Right? Time travel is always fucking messy. It could have been different, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I've watched it since. I think I watched it early this year at work. And a lot of shows were fine to me, or entertaining at least, but I was seeing where it's going, right? And being tentative about if it's building up to something else. And then Doctor Strange 2 just took me completely, like how Endgame took you out of it. Doctor Strange 2 completely took me out of the entire MCU at that point. Like at that point, I just capped my MCU experience off at Endgame.
Yeah.
Which is a fine ending point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I think it really needs some life pumped into it in a heavy way.
Like Black Panther 2, bro. It's going to make it break the entire thing. I feel like.
I agree.
You can email us at nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com.
That's if you need to send questions. We'll try to do a real quick thought of the week. Shout out to Marilyn Phil, who does our notes and holds down our Twitter. Let's see what he has going on, if anything, this week. I'm sure he has something.
When does he not?
Yeah. Okay. So, no,
I'm always just interested to see who's, if it's anybody I know that he's.
Yeah, I know.
Small world, right?
Thank you. No, see, he's not
Is he being polite?
He's not getting nasty. Here we go. Here's one. Here's one. So this is at just AGH ghost, just a ghost girl, but the O is a 0 at just a ghost girl. This is her as Mary J. Watson. Says mini HD MJ set is live on both platforms. And then Twitter Phil's response always gets the spider sense going.
Oh, the Peter Tingle.
Peter Tingle.
Oh,
yeah, I saw that. Oh. Did he post that or someone else?
He did.
He posted the Peter Tingle GIF.
Shout out to him though. Shout out to Dante, and make sure you check out the So You Like Horror podcast that me and the Skull Faces did, and he helps us with Facebook. Shout out to Instagram and Raul, who holds that down. Shout out to Ricky Tiki Timber, who does the videos.
And hey, listen, if you're listening to this early on Patreon, send us questions.
Yeah,
because we're having another one of those repositioning cruises this week.
Yeah,
well, as always.
Yeah. So pump in some questions. As soon as you hear this.
And please leave a 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcast.
That's right. It really helps.
And shout
Before
out to
Thursday morning Eastern Standard Time?
Yes.
EST? Yeah.
Yes. ESTG. And to everybody else on the Cool Table, thank you for being a part of the Cool Table. And with that,
Flappy Labius.
Tasty taint.
Tight Dick Player. Only 2 hours today. It's a good time.